microphone. What's
Yo.
up, gamers, ballers? Y'all know the deal, what it is? Yo.
What's up, dude?
What is up? How we doing? Some excellent technical moves to start the stream there.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the let's go sign up. My microphone was muted. You had no camera, and then it came in super pixely. Always love to see it. Good evening,
Hey,
fellow
man.
Chadman Solo. How are you doing tonight? We also had Doomis and Cronium pop in. For those of you that just like gaming, I promise I'm gonna game again soon. It's been, I don't know if you realize this, Rambo. It has been exactly a month since the last time I did a gaming stream. The only streams I've done the past month are just these 4 football streams. I'm so freaking busy. School sucks, dude. I hate college so much.
It's definitely not fun. I will give you that. It's not fun.
Yeah, so I had a test at 8 a.m. this morning, which 8 a.m. exams should be illegal. That is just garbage. But
100%, they should totally be illegal.
this is gonna be like my worst week of the semester so far. So I'm just gonna try to get past this week, and then I promise I'll find a way to get gaming stuff back on. But this week I had an exam at 8 a.m. this morning. I have an exam Thursday, and then I have an exam Sunday and 2 Monday. So in 8 days, I have exams in 5 of my 6 classes, I think. So yeah, freaking sucks. Doing great, thanks. I was just about to ask about Dark Souls. Yes, Dark Souls will be coming back. I'm thinking instead of just mindlessly banging my head against the no-hit wall, I'm thinking I might just go into Dark Souls 2 first playthrough when I get back on gaming. Good luck with your exams. What are the classes? I am in business school. I'm a major in marketing and finance. So a lot of marketing and finance related things. Super interesting stuff, I know.
That is above my intellect. So I did not major in that. Throw numbers in front of me and lost me.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm thinking when I do get back on gaming, I might just go into Dark Souls 2 first playthrough instead of ramming my head against no-hit more, because yeah, I did like a
massive W.
I did like 10 or 11 no-hit streams, each stream over 3 hours, and we got a PB1 run in like night 4 or 5, and then just got 5 very long streams, one of which was almost 11 hours.
Oh boy.
And none of those streams after I got PB1 did I ever make it past the halfway point of the game again. So I will get no hit one day, but gosh darn it, was it kicking my butt. Anyways, everyone, if anyone ever watches the clip out to the entirety of this stream, they're going to be so confused. I clicked on a football show, and they spent the first 5 minutes talking about video games. What the frick is that, dude? I'm doing exactly that. Dark Souls 2 is a specific game. I hate it. I've heard that it is the most different from all the other games in the series, and so for that reason, a lot of people don't like it. But I also hear if you play it as its own game without comparing it to the others, it's really, really good. So I'm going to try to go into it without thinking it's a Dark Souls game and just like I'm playing a new video game and see how I like it. So just waiting for him to stop throwing for content. Hey, you guys can get mad at me all you want. I spent a solid like month or 2 grinding no hit and got a PB1.
Dang.
And yes, I threw for content. But Mr. Pramitus, my wonderful mod, you can find him in my suggested streamers section. That man has been doing no hit for like 10 months and hasn't got it yet. So I throw for content, but Pramitus has the throwing for content crown right now. I just gotta say, no shade though, no shade. Good luck on the football talks. Thank you so much, Solo. I appreciate you popping in, even if you have no interest in what we're talking about. It means a lot to have people stop by just to see me and hang out, even when they don't care about what I'm doing. That's like,
it's lit.
That means the most. I love it when people come by because they're interested in what I'm doing. But when people come by just because they want to support me and say, hey, that's like this. Inseparable.
That's what it means to be a Kyronian citizen.
Exactly.
Just participate.
A true Kyronian.
Have fellowship with one another. Talk to your fellow Kyronian. Just be chill, be cool, have fun.
Exactly. Our hearts are interlocked. Be chill, be fun. Just be everything that Czar and I aren't to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if we deserve it, you can hit us with a casual or an L, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it is
But
what it
I will
is.
say this last week, I don't really deserve many L's because I went 3-1 on the split. Shout out to your
Okay,
boy.
bud.
Woo, man, I've been
Okay,
ready for this
bud.
episode.
I'm
Ready to rock
sure
and
you
roll.
have. Gosh, what a freaking loser, cringe lord. We'll get to WGP. But before, I just know it's going to put me in a bad mood. So I want to I want to save reacting and the predictions for the end. Because I know the second we get into that, I'm just going to get pissed off. Because I have been struggling. Struggling is an understatement.
Mm,
So I'll tell you what we're
struggling.
going to start out with. ASMR is a good tag there. It's because I said I fell asleep last time. I kind of put it there as a joke. But some people like to just listen to people talk, so maybe it's a real thing. Don't mind me, I'm leaving. I don't care if you stick around and make fun of us the whole time or not.
Okay,
Doesn't
I'm out
matter
of
to me.
here.
Dude, there have been some
Uh,
funny memes of the NFL this season. I don't
dude,
necessarily
there's
want to go into a segment about it right now because I don't have anything collected to like just go through quickly. But the NFL memes are so funny.
this is probably I don't know. I could say this is probably the best ever since I started keeping up with NFL memes. This is probably the best season to date.
Yeah.
Not even close, especially after Sunday, where two insanely boneheaded plays happen at
Oh, we're
once.
gonna get to that.
Dude,
I haven't
all
really
the
been
meme
mapping out.
lords, dude, all the meme lords had so much ammo. I loved it.
I haven't
Fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't really been mapping out these episodes like I thought I would. Like the first one I made super detailed notes to structure out the show. Since then I've pretty much just winged everything with you and just kind of gone with the flow. But the only thing I made a note of on notes for this episode were uh was ranking teams least favorite to favorite because we mentioned about that last week and I didn't want to forget to do it. And
Oh
then
yeah,
those two specific plays I know you're referencing, we're going to talk about
dude,
those. And I also
dude,
hinted at that in the cover screen to the preluding the stream.
dude. Freaking hilarious.
We'll get to that. All right. I guess we'll start out with this then. Hold on, let me prepare myself for my YouTube speech. You know how it goes.
Uh-oh.
I gotta switch the YouTube mode on for these videos. Speaking of the YouTube, let's pull this bad boy up real quick and see how we're doing. Let's check the stats. Let's pull up the analytics. Pull up the analytics on the
Ooh.
Kyro Sports YouTube channel.
Let's crunch them numbers, boy.
So
You're the numbers guy here.
exactly. So we've been doing the show for 3 weeks now. In that time, we've gained 7 subscribers. Interesting.
Let's
Now,
go.
we've had 2 videos do what I would consider well for our standards. The ranking all 32 teams video has 230 views. That's not bad. And
Holy
then
smokes.
WGP Week 1 had over 100 views. Everything else,
Nice.
pretty
Sucks.
disappointing. But those 2 videos did okay by those standards, and we got some subs off of it. Um, the
Love
other
it.
stuff, it sucks. It's a little discouraging because sometimes it takes a long time to get the stuff down. It usually takes me 2 days to edit 3 to 4 videos. Obviously, it's not like full days. It's because I work full time and have homework. So with the very little amount of free time I can put into editing the videos, in 2 days I can typically get 3 to 4 videos done, and that's usually what I do for the week. And so, like when I get, it's like, man, I'm spending. So usually Wednesday nights, well, not usually, but sometimes every other Wednesday night I have is free, like free. And so when I spend that entire night editing videos, and then like the videos like do crap, I'm like, dude, what am I doing with my life? I could have like streamed Dark Souls all night, and instead I put together this stupid football video that 6 people watched. Well, that's just how it goes. Um, yeah, it didn't
uh,
like make me mad. It's just like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean?
poor Kyro. What are we
Poor
gonna do?
Kyrogus is down bad. Nah, I'm just on myself because of
Uh,
WGP. But again, we'll get to that later. Anyways, looking at the YouTube
man,
channel, I feel like I'm pretty happy with the product that's coming out though.
dude. I am too. Especially,
I know you also mentioned in the Discord you were like, why would I watch something that I was a part of that I was there to see? Rainbow. I mean, obviously, I don't have any room to be talking to you because you're catching dubs in WGP. But you gotta watch film to get better. You gotta watch yourself to improve. You know what I mean?
ooh, I love the connection. That's a good cross reference by you, Kyrogis. I love it.
We got some good videos on it there. WGP is always fun, although I kept calling it the favorite segment at first, but at this point it's just kind of like a weekly routine thing, and it is fun to keep up with. But I think a lot of
Mhm.
our like specific segments that I've clipped out have been really good. Uh, Obviously there's the update on it, but I think the Micah Parsons video is good. I think the Week 1 Bengals video was good with the kicker rant. Um,
Oh
and then
yeah.
I think
Shoot, that was
I think
amazing.
the Dolphins Ravens video from last week was really good too. And then of course we got the best Rambo versus Kyrogus beef to date in the "Is Rambo a fake Cowboys fan?" video. That one's pretty good. That one's just funny.
Still no, by the way, chat. Still no. Hey, I'll tell you what. I just got through going and dropping some stuff off at Goodwill. Shout out to Goodwill. And the guys there, they almost refused to help me because I'm a Cowboys fan. That's a fact. You're just gonna have to take my word for it, chat. I'm telling you. I'm suffering with all the other Cowboys fans
Uh,
out there. Guys,
the
we're all together.
So
Let's
we're watching the Monday night Cowboys versus Giants game, right? First thing I hear Rambo say or see Rambo say in the Discord. Wow, these Giants uniforms are clean.
They were pretty clean. All white uniforms are my favorite, man. I'm telling you.
Those those
They're so
white
nice and
tiger
shiny.
Bengals unis on Thursday are gonna smack.
Imagine losing in those. Can you
Can't
imagine?
do it. Can't do it. But we'll see what we think when WGP comes around. But yeah, I'm excited for this week. So this week for today's show, I'm thinking it might be shorter, but who knows? We might just get talking and it'll end up coming to 4 hours again. Who knows? Um, but I'm gonna rank every team in the NFL, kind of like we did with the ranking all teams by how good they're gonna be. Except I'm gonna rank them from my least favorite to favorite. This one will be way faster. We talked 2.5 hours ranking all 32 teams in episode 1, and I cut the video down to an hour and a half. This should be very short. I'm gonna say a couple sentences about each team and then move on. And then it'll
Nice.
probably just be. I mean, you can pipe in if you have any comments about something. But it'll probably just be me going through it fairly quickly. And then if you want to give your list afterwards, that's cool too. Just if you even have one ready to go. And then from there, we can talk a little bit about a couple things, maybe go into just reacting to week 3 in the WGP and call it a day. Who knows? Before we do anything, everyone knows that Kyrogus, when he is live streaming, has the smallest bladder in the entire world. So I will have to take a potty break before we do that. But is there any
Oh.
very quick thing to talk about before I do that? All right. Also, is my nose about to bleed? Nope, it's just running. I've been having
Oh.
so many nosebleeds lately. This is a football show, and the first 30 minutes of this clip out are just gonna be me talking about everything but football. But I've had my nose been bleeding a
Nice.
lot. I pretty not year round necessarily, but usually whenever like the seasons are really changing, usually in the spring and the fall, I get bad allergies. My nose just bleeds all the time. I can't. I hope like whenever you pass away, you get to see like a video game style screen of like your stats through life. And you can just look up any stat. I want to look up how many nosebleeds I've had in my life. I want to look up the total amount of blood I've lost through my nose because it's got to be in the hundreds of gallons. It's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
But yeah, in the past like week, my nose has bled like 4 times. It's so annoying. Um,
Bruh.
so I thought that was about to happen because I felt the trickle in my nose, but it was just a little bit of
Oh.
snot, bro.
You
That's just
you
how it
lost
goes.
you lost me at trickle, man. Oh. Speaking of trickle, go take your break.
All right.
I'll
Well,
I will
e-
sit here and filibuster. I'll sit here and filibuster with chat.
entertain the stream with whatever football content you want to throw out there. If I come back though, and this train is not all the way on the rails, you're fired.
You're fired. All right. I'll take my chances, chat. What do you say? Woo, man. All right. So, big thing, chat. Kyroga said we may not have a lot to talk about. We may have a lot to talk about. Big reason for that, guys. This week, let's be honest. There's just a bunch of mid-offs. I mean, I want to know. I want to know from everybody in chat. Which game did you think was the most exciting of the week? Because after seeing all of the after seeing all the lame garbage, I mean, I don't know. You see two embarrassing safeties. Shout out to Dan Orlovsky. You teams not see teams drop balls, see teams not block, all that jazz. And it's just gonna be honest, chat. It's hard to filibuster when you don't really have a lot because I don't know. I don't
I
know.
hear
There's
you.
just something about this week. So you're
Something
good.
about this week.
I'm just telling chat how it's just gonna be hard to find stuff to talk about because a lot of these games you just watched them and you were just basically dumbfounded by what you were watching with your eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
so I went into this week because week 1 was pretty crazy, week 2 was nuts, and then week 3 looked like the games were going to be slightly more predictable. So I went into week 3 thinking, all right, the league's going to slow down a little bit, things are going to be less crazy, less exciting. And that was true, but at the same time, as we will clearly see when we check out WGP later, it was not predictable whatsoever. It was just not as crazy. There was a couple of crazy plays that happened, but like in week 2, things were just bonkers. You know what I mean? Like stuff was
oh yeah,
wild left and right. Just watching Rambo struggle. Good
dude.
and
I'm
Cronium.
telling you, in Cronium, it was a struggle. It's a struggle because you're digging for content, and you're like, I can't find it.
Story
I
of
just can't
my
find it.
life.
So,
Story of my life. Looking for content. Can't
but
find it.
at the same time, you have two insane plays
Yes, I
that
can't wait to
are
talk about that. That'll be fun.
that belong on NFL football follies, but everybody's seen it, right? So, oh, it's a weird week, but it was fun in the end because your boy got his W. So
Okay, pal.
I'm
All
not.
right.
I can't say I'm that upset, but
Is what it
disappointed
is.
is a better word.
All right, let's move into this first segment. How am I going to get here? What's the over-under on stream crashes today?
Ooh, over under on stream crashes, man. That's a tough one.
I
I'm not
should
really
run.
much of a betting man.
I should start running predictions for if the stream crashes on a scene switch.
I'm telling you, those Kyro coins hit different. Everybody would love those. They wouldn't even
I
have to go to
know.
KyroCoinGenerator.com.
Yeah, they don't even have to. You can get them. You can earn them free on Twitch.tv/Kyrogis. No credit
Oh.
cards involved. I want people to understand. You can also redeem like the drip redemptions. Like you can make me mask up or wear glasses or whatever you want to do during these. I'm just waiting for someone to do it. Also, this is sad. Uh, I made a silent rule in my head before we even started the show that on every week that we did WGP and I had at least 500 on the record, I was gonna wear shades for the following week's WGP because like I was swagged out for the win. And 3 weeks in, that hasn't happened yet. I have not been over 500 once. I've won a
Let's
single
go.
week, but I haven't been over 500. Life sucks. And Cronium's saving up? Interesting. I wonder what for. I'm guessing Cronium's probably around the 10,000 range or getting close to it. I don't know if you're wanting that VIP badge. That's an expensive one. Or if you want a personal command. Who knows? Who knows? You're at 5? Okay. Okay. I'm guessing my prediction, you don't have to tell me. My prediction is that you're saving up for the personal command. Can I redeem
Oh
this?
boy. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh boy.
So I can redeem it, but nothing happens? What the frick? Well, that's a scam. Nobody redeemed that, or I'll have to
And
refund you, and I don't want to do that. It's supposed to say
common
General
common
Kenobi.
common Kyro L.
I
Can we get a
scammed
command
myself.
Can we get a command L in chat? Please. Please.
I
I
scammed
need
myself.
it.
Is it just that one, or is it all the soundlers? Am I gonna have to work on fixing that? Let's test out the old oof. It might just not let me do it since I'm the broadcaster. But it says Kyro has played it. Yeah, I ain't doing jack.
Ooh.
Just this once, Rambo, Kyro sell. I
Hey,
respect that,
hey,
Incronium.
Incronium. I'll take it. I'll take it. Once is better than nunts. So appreciate
Nunts.
the L.
I love it. Nunts.
Oh man.
All right, let's stop wasting time, I suppose. Also,
Alright.
well, I say that and then immediately I'm going to bring up a non-football topic once more.
Go for it.
I have to take bathroom breaks when I stream because I always prepare for stream because I've started streams dehydrated before or I haven't had anything to drink in a little bit. And once because I talk in like a louder voice than I normally would, obviously, it's like a second nature thing. You just,
Mm.
once you've been streaming and doing stuff for a while, you just turn on a streaming voice. That's just loud. It's like a radio voice, you know what I mean? Like people on the radio, they talk a lot more different and louder and more profound and more like defined than how they would
Oh, for
normally
sure.
speak. So that's what you do when you're streaming. At least that's what most people do. So my voice just is louder, and I like not focus, but like subconsciously, I spend more energy in like enunciating clearly and things like that than I would in a normal conversation. All that to say, your vocal cords and your throat and stuff get really dry really fast when you're talking like that for a long time. So I prepare for that, and I like to get energized. So like I feel pretty tired most all the time. So before I stream, most times I have an energy drink to kind of boost myself up. So I have an entire G Fuel and 1 or 2 bottles of water before every stream. And that's why I always have to go to the bathroom. That being said,
Nice.
I've been talking for like 20 minutes now.
Chat, tell you what, if you're ever considering doing something like this, and it involves a good amount of talking, just do what I do. Just be loud and obnoxious 24/7, 365, and then your vocal cords will adapt.
24/7 365 is an understatement. And it's not just his voice, it's his fingers in the Discord.
Ooh,
Is
man.
there a bigger menace than
Someone get him
Rambo in the
some
NFL Kyrocast Discord text channel?
someone get him some Eagles gear, Doomy. Common Doomus L.
Tell me you would
Super
not
common.
tell me you would not be ecstatic if you woke up on Christmas morning and Santa brought you wrapped up in a pretty little box. You unwrap that thing
Ooh.
and it's a Jalen Hurts jersey. Tell me you wouldn't be stoked.
Ooh, well, here's the thing. I do love my boy Jalen Hurts, but
See?
the Eagles would just be too much. I don't know what I would do
Okay,
with it.
pal.
I couldn't rep it. I couldn't rep it.
Cap.
But
Cap.
he is a stud. So,
Rambo loves Philly sports. That's true.
ooh, I don't know about that one.
I know about that one. You're the biggest Philadelphia fan I know.
Um,
Permission to be a little
command.
nutty?
Ooh.
When is that permission ever not granted? Well, if it's someone that I
And
know, it's never granted because I don't trust anyone that I know in real life.
and Godium, what is your plan here?
I don't understand what Incronium's definition of a little nutty is.
I don't know. Let's just say it's a good thing that the first description of this stream is chill, because we ain't done jack, but I'm still loving it.
It's
So
chill
chill
until
is
we start
totally
getting into
fitting.
it. I also kind
Oh
of put
yeah.
chill as a joke tag. That's a normal tag when I'm streaming by myself, but I kind of have it as a joke tag for this because sometimes you piss me off and we go ham.
Hey, let's throw some
Last
ham.
time I was nutty, someone got pregnant, SMH. Wow. Oh! Now that's nutty.
That's
Okay.
pretty nutty.
Incronium, you have a lifetime permission slip to be nutty. A lifetime pass to nuttiness. That is freaking insane. Incronium, that's a very specific number. Could it be? Oh, it is. Incronium has now
Ooh.
tied Lance Farts for the all-time #1 bit donator. That is crazy. Engodium is
Wow.
an understatement. I want y'all to understand this. Lance is like hip to hip, like one of my absolute best friends ever, and has watched my streams from the beginning, which was 2020. I've been streaming over 2 years now. Lance has been here from the beginning. And Cronium has been here for like 2 months and is tied with Lance for the #1 spot in all-time bit donators. That is crazy. And Cronium,
That's pretty
I
legit.
literally can't express enough how thankful I am for you. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Permission to be a little nutty takes the matches the number one donator spot. And I just want everyone to also know, since if you can't see the total, that number one spot shared by both Lance and Acronium is 6,969 bits donated each. That's 6969, which is Major Poggers champion. And Cronium guest appearance instead of Ram, I'd pay for that.
Ooh,
And the
man.
Kyrocast co-host position just becomes pay to win.
Man, dude, that hurt. I'm crushed.
I can't be on the Kyrocast. I don't have football knowledge. Well, you're qualified though, because neither does Rambo. Heyo,
Bruh.
got him.
That's cold.
Zing. I was gonna say neither of us have football knowledge either, but I decided to turn it into a direct assault roast on you and not a self roast because I do that enough. Sometimes you got to be confident. You got to keep it cool, calm, and collected. You know what I mean? Neither does Ram is okay. Doomis and I are on the same level. Also, Doomy, I think I've said it before, but that gold knight badge, sexy. And Cronium, that gold dragon badge, so fire. So fire. Absolute gas. All right, gamers. Been live for 40 minutes. I know the show's only been going for like 25 of that, but we should probably actually talk about football now, considering that is the name of the game here on the NFL Kyrocast. Gotta get that swagger back. I'm telling you, after this week, we will game again. We're not going to stop doing the show on Tuesdays, but I'm going to start trying to fit gaming streams in. Hopefully, Wednesdays, Fridays, and maybe if we can shorten these shows up, which, considering we've been talking about absolutely nothing for 40 minutes, doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But if we start shortening the shows up and maybe starting them sooner, maybe Tuesday nights after the Kyrocast, I get a 2-hour gaming stream in, and then maybe Wednesdays and Fridays. Those are looking like possibilities for gaming streams again. Just this first month of my senior year of college, I've just been so busy. Can't wait for that casual no hit. Yeah, I'm just gonna I'll give no hit a run after a month and a half of no attempts. We'll just see how it goes, and I'm gonna get it. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. The way that game goes, I feel like too much practice is too much practice. You know, like you just overthink it at that point.
Not a game. Not a game.
Talking about practice.
Talking about practice.
Talking about practice. Having to take a mental break from no hit. It's straight up been not just the mental break from no hit. I haven't played video games in a month. What is that about? What is that about? Who am I? Am I even a gamer? Or am I just a jock? Am I just a jock now because all I do is talk about football?
Is Kyro is he okay?
Is this Kingdom Hearts hat, Keyblade, and Charizard behind me mean nothing? Am I just a jock, an ugly? Am I like the stereotypical high school bully from like the Disney movies who likes football and hates being nice to people? Is that who I am now?
Ooh, chat. It's got pretty dark.
Got dark.
I don't know how I feel about that. Ooh, I think we just need to do a therapy session here with. Ooh, oh goodness.
I saw that clip.
Oh man.
I intentionally did not respond to that clip because I don't respond to slander.
Shots fired by your own people, Kyrogus. How do you feel about that?
For anyone wondering, and I actually had some wild stuff going on Saturday, which I might make into a YouTube video. I haven't decided yet, so I don't necessarily want to spoil what it was. But I was absolutely not on my phone Friday or Saturday. And so I didn't even get to see that Lance streamed till the next day sometime. So I felt bad and sad that I had to miss that. But Lance Farts had streamed for the first time and even longer than I had. I think Lance hadn't streamed for like 5 or 6 weeks because he's also at school. But he streamed, I think, Smite for the night. And there's a clip that Doomis just shared in chat where Lance pretty much says what I was just saying. Is Kyrogus even a gamer anymore? All he does is talk about football these days. Let me buy a mod badge, SMH. Unfortunately, I cannot decrease the price for a mod badge just yet. It is the retail price is a trillion Kyro coins, but you'll get there.
Kyrocast, don't you think he's done enough?
Dumas got there, and Crony might get there too. You never know. Talk about Arkansas
Hmm.
football cowards. I'll actually mention that since you asked specifically. I'm patiently waiting. We don't need. It's obviously an NFL show, but freaking that A&M game, bro. That had
I've
every
got a
right to be a
lot of.
win. That had every right to be a win. Just it's 100%. Yes, there's a lot more plays in a football game than one. But the 2 touchdown swing that was diving on the goal line, fumbling it, and then returning it all the way for a score right before half. That's what it is. And then we only lost by 2, and we missed a field goal. So we still could have won with that happening. That had every right to be an Arkansas win. But the 2 touchdown swing from not getting the touchdown and giving them one right before half, just insanely unacceptable.
Kyrocast, you're gonna make me cry. Yeah, that was tough. Maybe it's the white helmets. I don't know. Chat, I'm so sad because for those of you that don't watch Arkansas football, every now and then they wear the white helmets with the red chrome Razorback decals. In
I'm
chat,
gonna you're gonna make fun of me because it's been like 10 minutes, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom again while you go on your spiel.
bruh,
I gave the whole reason of why this happens.
or should I say sis, since you have to go to the bathroom all the time. Dude, come on,
Okay.
man.
Oh, see, it's only a
But
billion. That's nothing. A trillion? Completely overestimated it. Yeah, what do
not a
I know?
problem. All right, Kyro, let's go use the bathroom. I'll filibuster and talk about the
I think
Razorbacks.
legitimately, I think to get a billion Kyro coins, I think I might have mentally done the math or something at one point. But I think if I streamed like every day and you watched like every second of every stream, I think it takes like 6 months to get like 500,000. So a billion
Oh my,
would take 20
a
of
year.
those time periods. No, so that means
Just kidding.
a billion would take 10 years. If
Yeah.
I streamed every day and you watched
Uh,
every second of every stream, it'd take like 10 years to get a billion coins.
that's right. You said a billion. I thought you were saying a million. Yeah.
Easy. So start now. All
Gosh.
right. Daily streams. 6+ hour streams every day. We're on the grind. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Rambo, do
Yeah.
your thing. Please don't leave me with Ram. I'll get the gift sub and donation bonuses. I don't know when I did that calculation, and again, I didn't like actually calculate it. I was just like mentally taking the averages and figured that out. I don't remember if that was with a sub boost or not. So it might even be longer than that if you're not subbed, or it could be a bit shorter. I don't remember. All right, Rambo, do your thing. I'll be back again. I'm sorry, everybody. Please make fun of me. I deserve it. There's so many reasons I deserve Kyro L's. I can't list them all in this 4 hour stream. All the reasons that Kyro deserves the command L. But go ahead and let me have it.
Geez, I mean, you didn't have to tell us that. Tell us something we don't know. But chat, Arkansas game. Sad. Did we play bad for all 4 quarters every second? No. Did we have a bunch of things that went wrong? Yes. Was there one particular play that cost us the game? I say no. But I want to get to this. Anyone in here that has a team that they like, that they at least claim to root for? Guys, if your team loses, don't go on social media. Don't clown the guys. Don't tell the team to cut this guy or cut that guy. Don't tell all the players that they didn't care and that the coaches need to start getting angry. Yes, I saw that. That was real. Guys, just show some respect, show some class. That's of all the things that made me upset Saturday, that was the most disappointing. Not from the team, but from the fans. So please, as fans, show some respect to all the players. On a serious note. Okay, now go back to the
Are you
game.
waging war on a fan base, Rambo?
Man, I might have to. I might just have to go rogue. Might have to. I
Going
might just
rogue.
have to
That's
be a.
in my name.
I might just have to be a nomad, but rep the Razorback stuff because man, the Razorback fans are getting on my nerves. But you know, I actually hate A&M. Same, do me. Nobody likes A&M. There was somebody in one of my classes that wore an A&M shirt to class. My professor was like, "Ooh, you have an A&M jersey. That's not very good." let them talk. Ooh, well, I mean, I let them talk trash. I mean, Jimbo Fisher's always an idiot. So, I mean, what would you expect from A&M? If you're going to be a coach, if you're going to go into the coaching profession, two coaches you should not emulate: Brian Kelly and Jimbo Fisher. Noted.
Freezes.
Don't be like them. Do the exact opposite, dude.
All right.
Hey, that was a pretty good. That was pretty good timing on that freeze, by the way.
It was. That was hilarious. You were like, don't be like them.
Hey, I meant what I said. It was just emphasizing my point for me. All right, so are we actually going to get to the NFL now, or what? Are we just going to sit here and hobnob? Because,
Uh, uh,
dude,
uh,
that's pathetic.
uh, you would- Sorry, I think my internet was breaking up there, guys. My bad. My bad, everybody. Was that good? Was that good acting? Oscar-worthy performance there? No?
Well, no,
Rambo, you didn't
actually,
like it?
they give Oscars to terrible actors. So yeah, you should go home with about 3 in January.
Okay, bud.
So
Unnecessary. All right, let's talk about football. It's been 50 minutes of jack squat. I apologize. Ram acting as a Cowboys fan is Oscar-worthy.
man,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
man.
All right, Rambo, I refuse to give
Gosh,
you a chance to defend yourself. Let's move on.
let's go for it.
All right, everybody, what we're going to do right here, right now, I'm going to give you the Kyrogis bandwagon guide for the 2022-23 NFL season. What I actually mean by that is I'm going to rank every single NFL team, all 32 of them, from my least favorite to favorite, just because I want to talk about it. And then when we get to the end of the year, you can come back to this video and see if the teams that I seem to be favoring with how I talk about them, you can see if I'm bandwagoning or not. Because I'm calling my shot right here, right now, at the teams that I like and the teams that I don't like. So that way you can know from the get-go, early on in the year, how I feel about these teams. Now, it's destined to change. It's going to change. Just this list, I created this list for the first time a week and a half ago, and I have significantly altered the order like 4 different times. Like, there are teams that went from my top 5 to like 15, and like, I don't know why, just what I felt about teams changed so much the last couple weeks. So let's just get into the list. Big question. Ram Cowboys 32. That's pretty funny. Rambo, come on, that's a good one. The Rambo hates the Cowboys meme is hilarious. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's funny because it's true, but Rambo keeps preaching the opposite.
Is it though? I mean, come on.
As always, the biggest question every single week: can we change scenes without crashing? There's only one way to find out, ladies and gentlemen, and that's to just bite the bullet and do it. If it crashes, I'll be very sad, but I will be back momentarily. Please don't crash.
Oh,
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
oh yeah,
Absolutely have to love it. I'll tell you what.
it's on now.
All right. All right. So do we just get into this without any further ado?
I say we just get right in.
Let's just hop right on in, boys. Let's just jump into it. Only real Cowboys fans know where Cooper Rush went to college. On my mama. I know, Rambo. Do you know? Don't say the answer, but do you know?
Ooh,
He doesn't know.
I think actually, I think I do. I think I do.
Okay, where is it?
Ooh, I'm I'm wanting to say Central Michigan.
You are correct. I think you're correct, actually. Now that I knew.
Let's rock and roll.
I believe that's
I
correct.
better
Hold
be
on.
right.
You
He
are
gave me
right.
false hope. Give me false hope. Dude, let's freaking go, man. Easy money.
Yeah, you are right. I knew that. I was thinking. I knew he was from Michigan, and I for some reason knew the name of his high school. But then when you actually said the name of the college, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's right. I knew it was a Michigan college, but I knew he went to Lansing Catholic High School. I don't know why I know that. I just know that.
Antonio Brown, he also went to Central Michigan, did he not? So, goodness. They had a stud come out of Central Michigan and Antonio Brown. What do you know?
All right, let's get back to the actual segment at hand. So, as I'm sure is not a surprise to anyone who is familiar with me whatsoever, I mean, look at the freaking jersey I'm wearing. Ignore his shirt because he
Oh,
doesn't actually mean it. But everyone understands how I feel about this team. At number 32, the Philadelphia Eagles will always and forever be my least favorite team in the league. It has very little to do with the players on the team and everything to do with the fan base and the fact that they are in the NFC East. They are the best team in the NFC East right now besides the Cowboys. Not necessarily saying that the Cowboys are better. They are not. I'm just saying, of the three NFC East teams other than the Cowboys, spoiler alert on who the number one team is going to be on this list. The Eagles are obviously the biggest threat, so that's going to make me hate them more. And plus, the Eagles fan base, I hope every single resident of Philadelphia is watching this right now. I despise you. I just do. You're
sorry,
literally the worst.
Praminus.
Yeah.
Praminus, if you're lurking in chat, I would like to offer my sincere apology on behalf of everybody else in
Oh?
Kyronia, because
A
Kyro
Philadelphia
gets
Eagles sympathizer? That sounds like a fake
nah.
fan.
I'm a Praminus sympathizer because he's hashtag my goat, Kyrogus.
Parametis is my goat too. Parametis is a legend. But that's just what it is. Now on every team on this list, I do like individual players on every single team. So like on Philadelphia, I do really like Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Darius Slay, players like that. But despite
Everybody
that,
good.
not everybody good, but despite that, I want to see the team fail. So I don't care if players have individual success, but any Eagles win is a bad week in my life. So absolutely despise the Eagles. They're going to be 32. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Doesn't have the My Goat command. You're right. That should say something. At number 31, we have the New York Football Giants, who just last night took a sweet, sweet, sweet L to the boys in blue from down there in Dallas. It was in New York. That was a heck of a game. I mean, I don't know if a heck of a game is the right word, but it was a decent game. There was some good stuff about it, but we're not talking about the game. We're just talking about the team. Pretty much the same reason as the Eagles, whereas they're a division rival, and they are more of a threat than the third division rival, meaning I despise this team a little bit more. I do like individual players on the Giants again. I like Saquon Barkley. He's really fun. I pretty much don't care for anyone else, though. Daniel Jones, I think, is a little bit better than the rep that he gets, but I don't think he's very good even with that. He doesn't have a lot of help, but even if he had the help, I feel like he wouldn't be that great anyways. I do have respect for Danny Dimes, though, especially because, as I mentioned when we were talking about the Ravens and Dolphins game and analyzing Lamar's play a little bit, I just have a real big soft spot for rushing quarterbacks, which I don't think Danny Dimes is a run-first quarterback, but he makes more plays on his legs than a lot of quarterbacks do. And I'm not just talking about because he picked up 8 first downs on the run uh, in the game last night, but I've just seen, like, he has that giant rush that he ends up tripping and falling on. I would have loved that highlight. I mean, I loved it either way because it's hilarious to see him trip and
Dude.
fall. But I was like watching that because I watched that play in real time actually. And I was like, as it was going, I was like, okay, that was a sick run. And then he tripped and fell, and it was hilarious. But yeah, clear reason. Giants 31, division rival. Just don't like him. So number 30. Can anyone guess what it is? It is not the Washington Commanders. It's the San Francisco 49ers. I freaking hate the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
I don't
I did not
know.
expect this.
I threw a curveball for you. This is called subverting expectations. Now, you would think it's because I'm a Cowboys fan and in the playoffs last year, the 49ers knocked us out. It really is not because of that. I don't really know what it is. I just don't like the 49ers at all. Now, I think, obviously, I'm not very old. And for some reason, I don't know football history that well. But I'm pretty sure the 49ers had some beef with the Cowboys like forever ago, like in the 80s, 90s kind of thing. But
Yeah,
it
they
really
did.
has nothing to do with that either. I just don't like 49ers. My whole life, I've just thought they were a boring team. And I don't know.
Oh my
But
gosh.
they beat us in the playoffs last year, so that's annoying. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is just the biggest fraud in sports. I just don't like the 49ers at all. Now, I think Deebo Samuel is a pretty cool player. And I do like Kittle. George Kittle is cool. I like George Kittle. I like Juszczyk. So I like every team. I like some individual players. But I just hate the 49ers organization. I'm sorry to say.
Also, shout out to Juszczyk for making the greatest catch of all time by a fullback on Sunday night.
That catch was pretty sick. I can't lie. He toe tapped that ish.
That was insane.
Caleb in
Using that
chat.
Harvard education to make that catch. Rambo
Caleb.
fake fan.
I like how
Dude,
Rambo was defending you before, but I guess he saw that video where I laid it down. I broke it all down, and he was like, "You know what? You're right. Rambo is a fake fan." Common Peachinator W. I appreciate the validation, Peachy. All right. Number 29. Now, surely this has got to be the Washington. Oh, it's not. It's the Los Angeles Rams. Let me tell you about the Los Angeles Rams. Everyone's like, where are the
Massive L.
Commanders? So, the Los Angeles Rams, I'm not necessarily a good team hater, but I don't know what it is. As I'm going to say this about every team I dislike, just so you can understand where I stand. So, like, I like Cooper Kupp decent enough. I like Aaron Donald. I like some players on that team. But I don't know what it is. This team just annoys me so much. They just won the Super Bowl. So, normally, unless it's a team I like, I want teams that win the Super Bowl to kind of pipe down and spread the love a little bit. But I don't know. I don't like Jalen Ramsey. He's just really annoying. And I think Stafford got way too much hype for last season. I think it was nice that he finally got some of the credit he wasn't getting in Detroit, but people overcompensated that a little bit, in my opinion. I like Sean McVay as a coach. I don't know. Something about the Rams. I had more thoughts when I put them at 29. It's just, whenever the Rams lose, I just get in a better mood. I don't know why. The Rams are just, I don't know. I don't know if it's that I like to see good teams lose or what, but I just dislike the Rams. Maybe it's because Rambo bandwagoned the Rams hardcore last year, and everything Rambo likes, you will see that majorly later in this list. Rambo liking certain teams made me drop them significantly, and that's real. That's real. There's one team specifically that dropped majorly just because Rambo likes them, and you'll see that later.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have an issue with the Rams, but they don't have a salary cap. Yeah, what the heck is that about?
I love the Rams, man. If I have time to show my list, I don't have a full 32 team list, but I have a top 10. The Rams are pretty dang high on mine. So this was kind of unprovoked. I'm not sure about that, Kyrogus.
I don't like the Rams.
A little.
Anyways, Peachy, you should stick around for this one. And I saw Incronium just said that they're back. Hello, Incronium.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right.
Don't do it.
All right. Are we finally going to have the Washington Commanders? Everyone knows they're coming, right? They're a divisional rival. At number 28,
oh, no.
We've got the Houston Texans. Where are the Washington Commanders? We'll get there. What do I think about the Houston Texans? Bro, I'm ranking my teams least favorite to favorite. So the Houston Texans, they're just literally why I put them here. I'm telling you exactly why. They are the most boring team in the league. I'm sorry to say. They're just so
boring.
There's nothing interesting about the Houston Texans. When has Houston been good enough to be a threat? Exactly. That's the reason they're this low. They are so boring. They're in another division. It's just, when I look at the Houston Texans, I just go, ugh. You know? I go, just boring. You know what I mean? Like, you got Davis Mills running Q. Like, obviously, Deshaun Watson now has his issues, but ever since Deshaun Watson stopped playing a few years ago, before Deshaun Watson was known for other things, Houston's just been so boring. They're just, Rambo and chat, pretty good. They're just blah. You know what I mean?
Dude, they're not blah. They're blah. Make me want to fall asleep.
But you see what I'm saying? You're talking about days in the past were sick. The Houston Texans used to be cool. I would have put them probably in those days that y'all are talking about. They would have been in the top 15. They would have been in the top half of teams for me. But right now, the Houston Texans are so freaking boring, and I hate them for that reason. There are teams like I can hate, but like the Texans, it's just like I would never have fun watching a Texans game. I don't think.
Dude, those
Cowboys fan talking about days of the past. Okay, that's a side tangent, but
oh my god.
You can ask people in my family can attest to this. I get rageful when people bring up the past. Every time my father, who cursed me with being a Cowboys fan, brings up the 90s, I get, like, my fight or flight reacts, and it's fight every time. If you bring up why I should be proud of this team for something that happened a decade before I was alive, I'm going to lose my mind. Because I don't care. Gosh, I hate it when Cowboys fans talk about the past. But that's all that happened.
Real quick, Kyrocast, before you go to number 27, for
Mhm.
those of y'all that remember the fights between Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan when Houston would play Tennessee, y'all are members of the elite in society. That was
You
those
qualify
were
for a veteran's discount.
those are the best fights ever, without a doubt. So,
All
anyway,
right.
all right, number 27. Is this one the Commanders, Kyrogus? I'm
All
wondering.
right. At number 27, we have the Washington Commanders. You know they couldn't be too high up. I had to put some of those few teams that were just really bugging me lower than them. Now, the reason I have a divisional rival not at the bottom 3 teams is because the Washington Commanders are just a little bit too cute for that. You know what I mean? Like, when a team is so non-threatening, even if they're in my division, I can't hate them that much. Now, I mentioned before, I was a big Taylor Heineke fan just because of that game he had against the Buccaneers. I just thought that was really cool. I like Terry McLaurin. There's not too many players on the Commanders that I like. I'm not really like a Carson Wentz fan. It's just the Commanders are just so bad and have been for so long with a decent season here and there. I just can't make myself hate them because they've never really done anything to make me hate them. I mean, they've beat us, in some regular season games here and there over the past decade, but like they never really done anything to make me hate them. So I dislike them and I generally want them to lose. But they've never really hurt me enough to make me hate them. There have been years that the Giants have like killed my season dreams, and the Eagles always make me hate them. But the Commanders slash the football team slash whatever they used to be called, uh, I have no idea. They have never really done anything to hurt me that bad. So that's why I got them at 27 rather than 29 or 30. 30. It would be 30. I can't count. I don't know how to do math. I also forgot the order that I set here, so sometimes these numbers are going to be a surprise to me. Like, oh, I forgot to put them there. Also, I told you that I changed the order of this list like 4 or 5 times over the past couple weeks. Literally, while the starting soon screen was playing, I changed like 4 or 5 teams around. Like, this is very fresh. Like, I keep changing it. By next week, I'm going to come back to this video and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put that team there. I want to change that. But this is just what it is. And week 4, prior to week 4, after 3 weeks of the NFL season, this is where my team's lie. Number 26, I have the New York Jets. Now, as much as I love the swagger of that quarterback, the MILF hunter, Zach Wilson, the Jets, other than that, if that didn't happen to the New York Jets, they would have been low. Because that was the only interesting thing that has ever come out of the New York Jets that I can think of. I mean, yeah, they used to have Jamal Adams, Le'Veon Bell. Their jerseys are okay. Those all green jerseys are kind of cool. But how this team would have been almost as boring as the Houston Texans if just the hilarious story about Zach Wilson didn't come out. This team was just super boring, and they suck. Joe Flacco, Joe Comeback-o, did have that crazy comeback win against the Browns, but that wasn't enough. They're just a boring team. They're bad. I don't like to watch them, so they're at 26. I'm going to try to speed this up. Number 25. This is a team that moved around a lot over the last couple weeks. I've got the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to have to go back to my primitive ways and say Justin Jefferson is overrated as crap. I actually just can't root for a team.
What?
I mean, the
Wait.
last 2 weeks, he's been clamped. Clamped.
Oh my god.
I actually might want to move the Vikings up a little bit, but I'm not going to change the order at this point. Truly what it is, I do like a lot of players on the Vikings. Believe it or not, I do actually like Justin Jefferson. He probably is my favorite player in the Vikings. I like Dalvin Cook. I like them.
That's cap.
I just can't like a team with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Something about Kirk Cousins just makes me angry. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think it's just I look at a guy like that and think, how am I supposed to be convinced that you were one of the top athletes in the world? You know? How are you a top 32 quarterback? How are you a top 32 quarterback? Like a football player. Quarterback's like the most important team. The quarterback is the most important position on a football team. Do you mean to tell me that Kirk Cousins is a top 32 most important football player in the world? I just can't believe that. I can't believe that. Absolutely can't believe it. I don't know what it is
You
about the
like that?
Vikings. The Vikings do hold my favorite sports play of all time,
Mm.
but I don't know what it is, dude. The Vikings just kind of aggravate me a little bit. I think if the Vikings were actually good, I would like them more. But the Vikings just they kind of and I know understand Cowboys fans, so blah 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 blah. But I feel like the Vikings always try to convince me they're good, and then the end of the season comes around and they're not. So I don't know what it is. I got the Vikings at 25. I'm really just pissed that they didn't beat the Eagles last week. So that made them drop a lot. I think I had them in like the top 15 before that, and I was like, screw you guys. So
I'm sensing
Vikings at
some
25.
copium in here.
Number 24. This is a team that dropped a lot today specifically. I had this team at like 15 or 16, and then today I was like,
Ooh.
0-3, respect, lost. The Raiders, the only winless team in the league as of today. I have them at 24. Now, it's bad when my favorite player on your team has barely been with you. Devontae Adams is dope. Um, I'm trying to think because they gained and lost a lot of players. This team's just had some issues the last few years. And I really thought this was going to be the turnaround year for them, and now they're the only winless team in the league. Granted, they've played some decently tough teams, but they choked a free win to the Cardinals, and they just can't get it done, it seems like. So I don't have that much to say about the Raiders. They're just underperforming. Derek Carr, every offseason, someone convinces me that Derek Carr is pretty good. And then the season comes around, and he sucks. And I'm like, why did I let someone talk me into thinking Derek Carr was good? Every year it happens. This has been a vicious cycle for the past literally like 5 or 6 years. Like since 2016, I feel like every year I've gone into the season thinking, Derek Carr, he's pretty good. And then he sucks. So,
Mm.
I don't know what that's about. What's up, Harley? Welcome in. Harvard
Pretty
franchise.
pretty
Clofus, how's
strong
it going?
words.
Someone
Pretty
stole
strong
my
words.
first. You can blame Encronium for that. But welcome in, Harley. Good to see you. Daddy Clove. That's what I'm talking about. Number 23 is the Cleveland Browns. This team would have been a lot higher up the past few years, but there's just been some things with the Cleveland Browns that I just don't like. However, I do like Amari Cooper a lot. I love Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is probably, I'm going to say this when I start getting the teams that I like. I'm going to say favorite, and when I say favorite, it does not include Cowboys players. So when I say favorite, and I'm talking about a team that's not the Cowboys, I actually like the Cowboys player for that more, but I'm just, you know what I mean? But Nick Chubb, with that prereq, that little asterisk next to it, Nick Chubb is probably my favorite running back in the league. I am a massive Nick Chubb fan. I have been for several years now. He's just awesome. He's my biggest thing that I like on the Browns. I love Amari Cooper. He was a Cowboy for a long time. I hate making the Cowboys be about every team, so I'm going to stop doing that because that's annoying. Because I do like football more than just that team. That's just the tippy top for me, though. Spoiler alert. Nick Chubb gives him a chub. That is facts. That is a factual statement. I mean, Nick Chubb runs like he is just bricked up. I'll tell you what. Dude can not bench. He can squat like 980 pounds. Don't fact check me on that because I do believe that is the real number. He's just awesome. Kareem Hunt, he's all right. I like Kareem Hunt though a decent amount. I like the way he plays. Kareem Hunt is a good. He's the best backup running back in the league. That's for sure. He would start for most teams. But yeah, Myles Garrett. I don't really know how I feel about Myles Garrett, but he's really good, and I respect that. But the Browns, I don't know. The Browns just can't ever get it together. Ever. Never can they get it together. They're just the Browns. I should have put the elf
Also,
picture for this instead of the helmet.
chat shout out to Miles Garrett. Wishing him the best in his recovery.
I did. I actually meant to mention that. You were right. I do hope he is doing all right. I don't really know all the details of what happened there. He had a solo car accident. I think him and maybe one passenger in the car swerved to avoid a deer, went off the road, car flipped. He's already been released from the hospital, but we don't know the extent of his injuries. I'm assuming he's going to miss time for sure. Definitely won't play this week because it has been confirmed that there are injuries, but the extent of the injuries have not been released. But he is okay. He's out of the hospital after a day or two, so he should be fine. I don't know what the extent of those injuries are, and I have a feeling we're not going to know for a little bit. Well, maybe that's not the case, but I want to know what exactly is going on, but we don't yet. I'm telling you, I feel so bad. I have to pee so bad, and I've already done it twice, and we've been live for like an hour. Something's wrong with me,
Good
dude.
grief.
I've had 3 bottles of water and a G Fuel in the past hour. I don't know what you want from me. I gotta stop hydrating, but I'll go a little bit longer.
Chat, can we get command bladders in chat?
We'll get back to that.
Golly.
I'll get at least halfway through the list. Number 22, we've got the Denver Broncos. Now, this team
Mm.
they're maybe the worst 2-1 team I've ever seen in my life. Not actually, but they have just struggled. I despise their coach. That guy, I am convinced, sucks. I am convinced that the Broncos head coach is the worst head coach in football. Like, worst head coach in the NFL right now. I don't know if it can get worse than what Urban Meyer was last year, but the Broncos
Oh,
coach, it is a bad look. Now, if they came out and looked good after he joked around like, oh, I think I just snuck in here. I don't deserve this job. If they came out and actually looked good or just decent after that, okay, whatever. But if you say that and then on the field, it actually looks like you have no idea what you're doing, that's
that's a problem.
embarrassing, dude. When you don't know how to manage the clock, when you don't know what situational plays to call, when you're like not synced up with your franchise quarterback who you've paid all this money to, who's supposed to be really, 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 really good, and in past years has been really, 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 really good. You just got some issues. Broncos punter is their MVP. Did y'all see that Eli Manning clip where he's like, they should have paid the punter $280 million instead of Russell Wilson?
Oh my gosh. I
That's so
I
funny.
tried the Manning cast out last night.
I
I
don't watch it
tried
for
it.
Cowboys games. I watch it every Monday that they're doing it. I do, unless the Cowboys are playing because it's distracting and I want to focus on the game. But when I don't really care that much about the specific game and I just want to like casually watch it, like watch the game and I don't really care about being super laser focused, then I watch the Manning cast because it's entertaining.
Man, on CD's one-handed touchdown grab, all I heard was a "oh," and I was so underwhelmed and disappointed
Oh.
because I wanted to go like "oh." So yeah, I was
You
I
wanted to
was a
give them
little
the
bummed out by
classic
that.
Czar Woo?
Oh yeah,
Are we going to
it
get one
won't
for
sa-
the fans? What if I
it won't
redeem
sa-
Woohoo?
it won't sound good if I do it here. Besides, I got people here with me, man.
All right,
I can't freak
understandable.
them out like that. I owe them too much.
I bet he yelled when Hurts passed it to Brown. You're probably right.
Well, I have them both on my fantasy team, so I mean, maybe a little. But guess what? I'm three
I
and zero,
hate you,
boys.
Rambo. I
Just
hate you.
saying.
At 21, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I would have had this team
Mm.
so much higher. Now, they did just beat the Chiefs, so maybe they're a little bit better than they seemed after the first few weeks. But, oh my gosh, I had this team at number 6 on the preseason rankings, and that is, to this date, the biggest L take on the history of the Kyrocast. Not a long history, but a history nonetheless. Jonathan Taylor, he's still good, but he's not nearly what he was last year to this point. Matt Ryan, again, they just had a great game against the Chiefs. So all of this is looking a little bit better than what everyone thought. But the Colts were just not what I was wanting them to be. And they're at risk of being one of those really boring teams that just doesn't have anything really cool to root for. Jonathan Taylor in that offensive line can still be good, I think. I thought the defense was going to be better than it was. But yeah, they did just beat the Chiefs, so I guess props to you. But this team disappointed me a lot so far. At 20,
Matt,
we have what were you gonna say?
I was saying Matt Ryan is still terrible. After all these years, even though he threw one good ball finally, he's still
Doomis,
bad.
lol, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, for real. I was high on the Colts before the actual football season started. So, is what it is. At 20, I have the New England Patriots. Now, a lot of people still hate the
Ooh.
Patriots from the Tom Brady days when they were just winning every single Super Bowl ever. Um, but I don't know what it is. Something about a team that was good for a long time, when they go into rebuilding mode, I don't know what it is. I just get like interested in the team. Like I want to see how a team that was so dominant for so long, when they lose those key pieces, I like to see just kind of how they respond to that. And I like Mac Jones a lot. I don't think he's amazing or anything, but he's just a fun player for me to watch. And so I'm rooting for Mac Jones. There's not really any other players on the Patriots that I really care that much about. Do they still have Hunter Henry? If they still have Hunter Henry, I do care about Hunter Henry.
They
Um,
do have Hunter Henry. They have Hunter Henry and Jonnu, so their
yeah.
tight end room is on paper pretty good.
I also have a ton of respect for Bill Belichick as a coach. I still think he's the GOAT coach. I think he's the greatest coach of all time. Now, Since Brady has left, Brady has looked like he was more of the key piece to that team, considering Brady has had a lot of success since he left the Patriots, and the Patriots have not. But I don't think that's a completely fair testament because Brady has gone to a very good team. That roster is amazing, and the Patriots have pretty much absolutely nobody and are still a middle of the road, pretty good, pretty decent team. So I think Belichick is doing so much better with the Patriots roster than most any other coach would do. So I still think he's the best coach ever. I have a lot of respect for that, so I just like that as well. And then I like Mac Jones a decent amount. The Patriots are the kind of team at this point that I'm just like, you know, I like it. You know what I mean? Not really too strong of
Eh,
feelings. At
whatever.
number 19, we have the Chicago Bears. This is a team I feel similarly about to the Patriots, where it's like kind of a meh team I don't really care that much about. But I have a soft spot for young studs, and I have a soft spot for running quarterbacks, and that describes Justin Fields pretty well. I just like the Chicago style football. They've always been kind of like a rough, gritty themed team, kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers are, uh, just kind of built on that. And so, uh, and then I
Good thing
love.
Brillick's didn't hear that.
What do you mean?
Those are. I feel like he would call those fighting words. I don't think he wants anybody compared to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Those
I
aren't
agree with
fighting
you.
words. Just
I agree with you.
the
But
reputation, just like the essence of the team, like the spirit of the Chicago Bears is like a rough, gritty kind of team, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's not a diss at the Steelers. That's a compliment. If the rain
yeah,
game didn't happen, would they be this high? So this is about how I like the team, and so I was happy to see them win. I would still, I mean, I don't know specifically what they would be. I just like Justin Fields. I mean, he's been getting hate since that game for not playing very well, and he's only getting like 10 to 15 passes a game, which is insane. There are quarterbacks in the NFL throwing over 50 passes in games. I think I might have the number a little bit off, but didn't Josh Allen throw like 63 passes in the loss against the Dolphins? And Justin Fields is throwing like 11 to 15 passes a game. Like, does the coach have no faith in him? I don't know. I'm rooting for Justin Fields, and I just like the essence of the team. I got him at 19. The rain game was goaded. If the rain game didn't happen, I don't really know where they would be, but I mean, I still like the Bears. I feel like I like the Bears, and I'm rooting for them the same as I was before and after that game. So, at number 18, I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is a team that changed a lot for me. They changed a lot, but it was within the same range. They changed between like 13 to like 20 a lot. This is one of the lowest I think I ended up having them. But I have respect for Tom Brady being the GOAT, and I just have respect for that. I really like Mike Evans. I really like the Tampa Bay defense. I think they're really good, and I got a lot of respect for those players. But it's kind of like a little bit to a lesser extent, kind of how I feel about the Rams, where it's like, all right, you were good. You got a lot of bandwagon fans that came your way because you got really good and won a Super Bowl quickly. So that kind of annoys me. But I've always liked the Buccaneers, even back when they sucked, just because I think their logo is cool. I have a soft spot for red teams, obviously, and then the skull with the cross swords and the football. That's just a dope logo. And when I don't feel that much of a certain way about a team, as you'll see later with another team that we've already mentioned before, your team's theme can sway me a lot if I don't actually care that much about the team specifically. But yeah, I like Mike Evans a lot. They have Julio Jones, who's one of my favorite football players of all time. Yeah, he's not really a massive piece of that team, but they just have him on the roster, so I like that. And then I like that defense a lot with like Levante David, Devin White, and them. They're just a good football team, and I got a decent soft spots for them. One of my former high school
man,
teammates sacked Aaron Rodgers on Sunday.
that's pretty
That's
lit.
cool.
I
That's freaking
like Aaron
awesome.
Rodgers, but that's still pretty cool. Too bad. Too bad it wasn't on the other side, so he could have sacked Tom Brady. I just
All
had to
right.
put the screw Tom Brady in there on your Bucks segment, but
Nah, not screw Sean Brady. Now,
nah,
about Tom Brady, when he was on the Patriots, I wasn't necessarily a hater, but
I was.
I definitely, yeah, I know you were. You're the only Cowboys fan that could have ever rooted for the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I hate you for that. And that's why you're not a Cowboys fan. You're just not a real Cowboys fan. But talking about Brady, when he was on the Patriots, I was convinced that he was a system quarterback. Like I said, I think it's been pretty clear since Brady left that he has had way more success than Belichick has. But when he was on the Patriots, I was always like, Belichick made Tom Brady. He's a system quarterback. He was coached to all the success. And I could not have been more wrong. He went to Tampa and has been lighting it up ever since. He's arguably a better player, not necessarily more successful, but arguably a better player on the Buccaneers than he was on the Patriots. I think just him having more of a freedom to be who he is has made him better. But he also has way better weapons than he did on the Patriots. That probably has a lot to do with it too. Um, yeah. Yeah, I see. I called him a system quarterback, but the truth was he was the system. And that's an excellent point. I'm going to die if I don't go to the bathroom right now. I'm so sorry. Rambo, entertain them.
Oh, chat. Can we get some more command bladders? Come on. Freaking inexcusable. But command bladders. Okay, command Czar L. Massive L for me. Oh man, let's see. So he's got it 18. The Bucks, yeah. Guys, the Bucks aren't in my top 10. Sorry. I don't like Tom Brady. Never have. His diet's weird. Drinks too much green juice. He cheated. Needs to retire. Is he the GOAT? Yes. Do I like him? No. That's all I'll say about the Bucks. So, y'all, if y'all want to fight me over that, go for it. I'll stand by it. Oh man, we got here. Dude hates tablets. That's another thing too. He does not do well with other people's property. Yeah. So Peachnator, did he break 1 or 2 tablets last weekend? Because I heard a rumor that he actually went and broke 2. He broke 2. That's some menace behavior. Because here's my thing. If you're upset and you're not playing well, wouldn't you want the tablet going forward to kind of help you out some? I mean, break the tablets. There's more. Microsoft has enough money. Go for it. Oh man.
Microsoft does have enough money. Tom Brady and Microsoft Surface tablets are my favorite rivalry in the NFL.
Just watch. He'll be in a Microsoft Surface commercial 2 years after he retires, and they'll make a commercial out of that. Mark my words, chat. Clip it. Within the next 2 years, Tom Brady will have retired, and he will be in a Microsoft Surface commercial.
I hope it's like for like durability or like for a Microsoft Surface tablet like case to be like where he like gets mad and he's like, no matter how much you rage, your tablet is protected. Like just something like that. That'd be hilarious. That'd actually be super funny.
Shout out to Czar Marketing. That's Czar Formula 2.
There you go, Rambo. You could take my marketing test for me.
No.
All right, moving on. At number 17, we have the Green Bay Packers. Now, I feel pretty similarly on the Packers and the Buccaneers. I can kind of go back and forth with them. I think I did a little bit when I was switching the orders around. The Packers, if you ask me anytime, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, and before, the Packers would have been my least favorite team in the league besides the Eagles. It would have been Eagles, Packers, Giants were my bottom 3. I even hated the Packers more than the Giants. There's the Dez caught it game, which he did catch it. Then in 2016, Dak and Zeke's rookie year. Ezekiel Elliott, 2016. Rookie Zeke is probably my actual favorite football player of all time, but as a whole, Dez Bryant is my favorite football player of all time. Needless to say, the Packers ruined my dreams for both of those players. And so I just hated the Packers for so long. Plus, they're also another really popular team. Like the Cowboys are a super popular team, but the Packers are one of the more popular teams in the league. They're one of those teams like the Cowboys that all over the country have a massive fan base, even from people that have no ties to Green Bay. So that's kind of weird. I don't really care about that so much, but it's just another point. I used to hate Aaron Rodgers so much, but since he has been on the Pat McAfee show, I have watched every single Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, and I don't know. I think it's just seeing him more as like a human being just makes me not hate him as much. I don't necessarily think he's the best man of character. I don't really know how to put that in a way that sounds correct. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers has got some weird stuff about him, but just him being on a casual talk show every Tuesday has just been really fun for me to watch. And I really like players like Aaron Jones. Jair Alexander is a really good corner, that kind of thing. So the Packers, I'm kind of in the middle on at this point, as they're at number 17, almost right in the middle. But I used to absolutely hate them. So them being at 17 is like a crazy accomplishment for how they've dug themselves out from the dirt of Kyroga's favorable teams in the past few years.
Aaron deserves to be in jail. Peachinator, what for? Why does
I th-
Aaron Rodgers deserve to be in
for some
jail?
reason, when he said that, I thought he was talking about Aaron Jones. I was like, why? That guy's awesome.
I don't know. Maybe he could be talking
Very
about Aaron
random. Can
Jones.
y'all guess the poorest NFL team?
Ooh.
The Packers are like a small market area, but they're way too popular, and they're like not owned by an owner. Aren't they like owned by like a fan base group kind of
Yeah,
thing?
you can buy stock.
Yeah,
You can buy
I
stock in the
don't think
Packers.
it's the Packers though, because
I
they're way too
wanted to.
popular.
I wanted to in high school. I went on like a kick for 2 weeks. I wanted to buy stock in the Packers so bad. When I was in like the 10th grade, I was like, "Mom, can we buy stock in the Packers?"
I'm gonna guess the poorest NFL team.
Dude, I don't.
It's kind of tough. I
I'm
almost
gonna
want to say
say
like
the
the
Houston
Vikings.
Texans.
Yeah, I was
I'm gonna
thinking
say the
Texans
Houston
or
Texans.
Vikings, but it might not be either of those. I'm just trying to think of like a small marketplace. Like in the NBA, I would guess like the Jazz.
Whoa. The
Oh, it's the
Bills?
Bills.
Wow.
Interesting. I actually no, I have heard that stat in the past few months because they've been so good. I have heard that. That is crazy though.
I remember when Donald Trump was in the running to buy the Bills several years ago.
Gotta be
And all I
careful
heard is
just
that
splurting that name
no,
out.
I'm just saying I was like, "Oh, he's like the rich guy with the weird hair. He wants to buy the Bills." Okay. So, I don't know. They'd probably be worth a little more, but yeah, that's interesting though. I did not know that. So, there you go.
That's pretty crazy. At number 16, we have the Carolina Panthers. Now, I used to just not give a crap about this. Well, going back, I was a big Cam Newton fan when he was like winning MVPs with this team. Even before he was winning MVPs, the first moment that I liked the Panthers, this is the most random thing ever. Just a random story. But it's probably, I want to say like 2014. I want to say probably 2014. I want to say it was around that Des Bryant catch season. I just call it that season because that's the ending of that season. I want to say it was about 2014 though. There was some Cam Newton Gatorade commercial, and it was nothing special. It was the most standard commercial ever. It was like a commercial. Cam Newton just like throws a pass and then takes a big chug of Gatorade, puts it on the bench, and it's like Gatorade. Most random thing ever. I have no idea why, but I saw that commercial, and I was like probably 11 or 12 years old. And I was just like, that guy's cool. Man, that Cam Newton guy, he's cool. And so I just like liked Cam Newton after that. And then he ended up being really good a year or two later and won MVP, won the Super Bowl. Now we don't need to talk about the Super Bowl if we're talking about Cam Newton because no one needs to remember that. But I don't know why I just started. I don't know. I just started really liking Cam Newton then. And then the Panthers just became super boring. I don't Christian McCaffrey. I just don't really care about Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's good, but he just can't stay healthy. He hasn't really done anything in a while. I'd like Baker Mayfield a decent amount and want to see him succeed, but that's not enough for me to care about the Panthers. They're another one of those really boring teams. Uh, but I still like them a decent amount. I would like to see them be better than they are, kind of thing. So I got the Panthers at 16, kind of right in the middle. Um, uh, if I was being a little bit more, like I was gonna keep changing the list now that I'm getting my thoughts out, I'd probably move them below Buccaneers and Packers. But I think that's just because the Buccaneers and Packers are entertaining because they're good. I think if the Panthers were as good as them, I would like the Panthers a lot more. So I'm fine with them being a 16. At 15, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. This team is one that dropped a lot for me. I used to like them. Well, like at the beginning of the season, I liked them a lot, and they've kind of dropped for me. They are kind of being the Chargers that we've always known and dropping a little bit. Granted, Herbert's had some health issues, and so have other players on their team. So it could just be a fluke couple of weeks with some injury problems, but they just can't seem to ever get it together and be that great team. Because like their roster is pretty stacked right now. And yeah, they're dealing with some injuries, but they can't really get it going. So I do like the Chargers lightning bolt. That's a cool logo. You know, I said I said the aesthetic of a team is gonna go into how I like these middle of the road teams that I don't actually care about the personnel or I don't actively dislike. So Not that much to say about the Chargers. I love Khalil Mack, who they have now. Austin Eckler's pretty good. Herbert's a very good young quarterback. That I don't like him as much as a lot of other young quarterbacks. And yeah, I like Derwin James. I really like the Chargers defense. So I like the Chargers a decent amount, but nothing crazy. Number 14. If this team did not look exactly how it looks, they would probably be like 26. But that red and black theme, that sharp Falcon logo, ooh, and they used to be the home of Julio Jones, who, as I said, is one of my favorite players ever. But just that clean red and black. When I was a kid, the Falcons were my second favorite team strictly because this cool logo and they're red and black, and that just speaks to me. Speaks to me. Their alternate jerseys, the ones that like are go from black and then fade up into red on top, the best jerseys in the NFL, if you ask me. Freaking awesome. So literally, I could not name a single player on the Falcons that I actually like, that I'm like an active fan of this player at this point. But I just love that team. So they're 14. They should be 14 because they have a Korean kicker, Younghoe Koo, and Hawaiian QB. I mean, Mariota, meh. Younghoe Koo, meh. There's literally no one on that team that I'm like a big fan of. Even Calvin Ridley's not playing. So, who knows?
Free my boy Calvin.
Calvin really does not deserve what he got. We talked about that, I think, in the first episode too, with the Falcons. At 13, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do actually really like this team. What's holding me back right now is that offense with Mitchell Trubisky is just not there. And I can't put Mitch Trubisky, the face of that team. Clearly, the face of that team is like TJ Watt in that defense. But quarterback is a quote-unquote face of every team. Mitch Trubisky, I just want them to play Pickett. I understand what's giving the Steelers the most likely chance to win at this point. Technically is Trubisky just because he has the experience. But I just want to see them play Pickett. If they play Pickett and like win a couple games with Pickett, I'll be high on the Steelers. I do like Steelers. And also like my friends, when they like a team, it makes me like them more. So like Matt and Buendo. Matt especially has always been a massive Steelers fan our whole lives. And so I like it. I genuinely like teams more when someone that I'm close to likes them, just because whenever they're not playing against one of my teams, I just tend to root for them because it's my friend's team. So I like the Steelers a lot for that reason too, but I also just love the essence of that team. Like I said about the Bears, just that gritty, tough team. And then that defense is awesome. Minkah Fitzpatrick is dope. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward on the pass rush. Just the defense is awesome. I know TJ Watt's hurt right now, but the defense is just awesome. And I just like the Steelers. I don't like their Super Bowls over the Cowboys, but now that's not even that special because the Patriots have that crown.
I was
anyways.
thinking in the past about the Dallas Cowboys, Kyrocast. You love that so much.
What did you say? I missed what you said at the start of that sentence.
I said let's dig into the past of the Dallas Cowboys because you like that so much. You love looking back at their history. So
okay, buddy.
I will say this, chat: the Steelers Bumblebee uniforms, S tier.
F tier. I hate the Bumblebee uniforms.
You can't deny it.
I actually hate the Bumblebees.
Those Bumblebees are so fire.
F tier. They're so bad. All right.
Come on.
Moving on. Number 12, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is 100% because I love the bounce back story from where they were so bad last year. They got screwed by a horrible head coach. And like I said, I'm a big fan of young studs. And every young player who is hyped coming into the league, there's not ever a young player that I am not rooting for. So I really want Trevor Lawrence to succeed. In the past couple weeks, he has looked really, really good. And I love that. Other than Other than Trevor Lawrence, there's not a ton of players that I love specifically on the Jaguars. There's decent ones that I generally like James Robinson. I like him, but it's not like, oh, I love James Robinson. But I really, really want to see Trevor Lawrence succeed. And so I like the Jaguars. Plus, that's a cool mascot, and the Jaguars have never had success ever. So I want to see them get some. Jag should be number 2 SMH. I should have made the tiers a little bit more clear, but from 14 or 13 up, these are all teams that I really like. We got Wampa in chat. Of course, if you got a Jaguar on the field, you better steer clear of it. Next thing you know, bam, pow, you're a Jaguar's lunch. True. that if there was a literal Jaguar on the field, you should be shaking in your boots. I'll tell you what, shaking in your cleats. At number 11. Now, we got to talk about this one. At number 11, I have the Miami Dolphins. Now, remember when I said there are some teams that dropped a lot for some specific reasons in recent weeks? I will have you know that the Dolphins, at one point when I was making this list, were number 4. They were just outside of my top 3 favorite teams. Because as I always say, I have a soft spot for young studs. I want to see Tua succeed. They also have Tyreek Hill, who is probably my favorite active wide receiver. Again, doesn't count towards Cowboys. Probably my favorite receiver in the league is Tyreek Hill. Julio Jones would be above him, but Julio Jones isn't really Julio Jones anymore. But of current actual stars, Tyreek Hill is probably my favorite receiver. And the Dolphins are another one of those teams that just need some success. And I just really, really liked the Dolphins. And they had some good games. And so what happened? 2 things happened. A, Rambo started rooting for them hardcore. And I really it started to annoy me. I can't lie. And B, after they beat the Bills, I mean, the Dolphins kept getting continuously hyped up. After they beat the Bills, it just got out of control. Now, I don't think of myself as a contrarian, but you might not be like this, Rambo, but whenever something gets super hyped up and everyone seems to just be, I don't know how to say it nice. Everyone just seems to be sucking off at something. You know what I mean?
Whoa,
You know what I mean, though?
whoa.
You know what I mean, though? Rambo rooting for him, kiss of death. You know what I mean? But I don't think of myself as a contrarian, but when everyone seems to be humping, wow. That's a blunder. Kyro
Could
elk.
somebody clip that? Please clip that.
Not humping. When everyone seems to be
Dude.
Okay. When everyone seems to be jumping on a specific train. I'm not always like this, but there are some instances where it's like, okay. Can we relax a little bit? So the Dolphins, had it 4, and then after last week, and when the Bills lost, I found myself being more like, man, the Bills lost than I was, wow, look at the Dolphins. So the Dolphins, I had them at 4, but I had to drop them a little bit because I think they're getting a little bit overhyped after starting 3-0 and beating the teams that they beat. But I do still really, really like the team, and I want to see them succeed. I just had to drop them a little bit, just a little bit. But I do still really love the Dolphins and want to see them be great. At number 10, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Similarly to what I just said about I was more like, man, the Bills lost than I was, man, the Dolphins won. That's kind of how I felt about the Ravens when they lost to them. Now, granted, mostly that was because I picked the Ravens to win that week in WGP, and Rambo didn't. And so I lost the split on the Ravens throwing the game. And so that hurt. But I'm also just a massive Lamar Jackson fan. I've said it multiple times already. I have a massive soft spot for running quarterbacks, and he is the epitome of a running quarterback. And they need to pay that man. Side tangent, if I had to say what the MVP running was right now, I think the 4 players, I'm not going to give a particular order, but the 4 players in the running for MVP right now are Josh Allen, Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson. I think everyone would pretty much agree those are about the top 4 players in the MVP running. No particular order, but I would say Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Tua, and Jalen Hurts are the top 4 MVP candidates through the first 3 weeks of the season. I cannot believe the Ravens have not paid Lamar Jackson, and I genuinely think they are going to lose him if they don't give him that big deal, because the price for Lamar Jackson is only going to go up. So they need to just bite the bullet and lock in this guy. It's crazy. I feel bad for Lamar Jackson in that sense because he's still playing like he loves the Baltimore Ravens. And they haven't paid him. And they lost him some weapons like Hollywood Brown and things like that. Yeah, he still has Mark Andrews, but Lamar Jackson is just doing it all for Baltimore. He is the Baltimore Ravens. And the fact that they haven't paid him yet is crazy. But I do really like Baltimore, and I really like Lamar Jackson and want to keep seeing him succeed, for sure. At number 9, we've got the Buffalo Bills.
Get your tables ready.
Get your tables ready because I am about to pile drive through them. Now, I'm not actually a massive Bills fan. However, what do I love about the Bills? Josh Allen, while he was sucking, I was still a fan of. I was like, this guy's got a massive arm. I truly believe he can be good. Everyone was kind of riding Josh Allen off his first couple years, and to see him pop and become a top 2 quarterback in the league is nuts. And I absolutely love that. And also, I love Stephon Diggs. I've alluded to it, the Minneapolis Miracle is probably my favorite sports play of all time. I'll never forget where I was and what I was doing when I watched that happen live, and it's just nuts. I'll tell that story another time. So, but I've loved Stephon Diggs ever since, and Stephon Diggs is the brother to Trayvon Diggs, who is one of my absolute favorite players. So that's something, but I really liked Stephon Diggs before that ever happened. Um, so I like that, and I like the Bills' defense a lot. Um, the Bills are just a very good team right now. Yes, they lost to the Dolphins, so they're not invincible. They aren't going to have their undefeated season that some people were crazy enough to say might happen. But and the Bills are also another team that's been bad for a long time, so it's nice to see them be good. Um, only 9 bias cringe. Nah. I'm not, but that's another thing.
Wow.
I'm not a big bandwagon, so I'm not gonna like a team just because they're good. I do really like the Bills though.
Eh,
Oh,
sure about that, Kyrocast.
we are not having this conversation because I will bury you.
Ooh.
At number 8, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals. I just love Joe Burrow. He's one of those young studs I really want to see succeed. I like Jamar Chase a decent amount. It's crazy. I might have the Bengals a little high. I don't know. They're just a young team, and as I keep saying, I really like young teams. Parametis, what is up, my man? I'm glad
Yo.
you're coming in now and not earlier when I was just going off on how much I hate the city of Philadelphia. So sorry about that. Unfollow if you have to. But you're here now. And I did say with the exception of Parametis, so can you really be mad? I don't know. I don't know. It's okay because I stood up for you. We both stood up for you. Worth it to unfollow? Probably so if I come at you like that. Look at that big Pramit grin. Pramit face. I'd say revisit the Bills versus Dolphins AFC East thing after they play in Buffalo December 18th in the cold. Yeah. No,
That
I don't
cold
think.
weather is gonna be a huge factor.
I still think the Buffalo Bills are a better team than the Dolphins. But the Dolphins had a very massive win against them. Um, but yeah, Jamar Chase, I think he's really good. I like that receiving core. I like Joe Mixon. The offensive line needs work. Their defense, I don't really have strong feelings about anyone on their defense, but I just love Joe Burrow so much. I really like young studs, and that team is just young all the way around. Evan McPherson, probably my favorite kicker in the league. He's super cool. Uh, well, maybe not more than Justin Tucker, who I forgot to mention with the Ravens. But yeah, it's weird because I feel like I don't like that many players on the Bengals, but the ones I do like and just the essence of the team, I really like. Plus, they're tigers, which is probably my favorite real animal. Again, I know a dumb reason to like a team, but this stuff comes into play. Those white tiger unis on Thursday are going to be so clean, they might jump up to the top 5 after that, if they're as clean as I'm
Oh
hoping they're going to
goodness.
be.
Insanely clean.
Burrow seems like he might be a fragile QB. I very much disagree because that man gets sacked like
Ooh.
10 times a game and has only had one major injury in 3 years. So I don't know if I'd say he's fragile.
Yeah. The
Now,
the
do
FedEx Field monster got him.
I think the likelihood of him having a major injury again is high just because of how many hits he takes, but I don't think I'd say he's fragile. All QBs are fragile except for Matt Stafford. Bruh. Okay.
Ooh. Man.
At number 7, we have the New Orleans Saints. Now the Saints, they're kind of a team, kind of like the Steelers, that I like them a lot just because of the essence of the team. Plus, some of my friends are massive Saints fans. And so I just like the Saints for that reason. But I also love the Saints Color Rush white jerseys are so clean with the gold numbers. I really like Alvin Kamara. Jameis Winston is one of those quarterbacks. If a guy is crapped on so badly, I kind of want to see them get it turned around and succeed. So I kind of feel that way about Jameis Winston. Um, that Saints defense is fun too. They've got Demario Davis. They've got Cam Jordan. Now they've got Honey Badger on the Saints, which is cool. I
No,
like
no, no. We don't like Tyrann Matthew here.
you don't like
We
Tyrann Matthew. Honey
we
Badger is dope.
chat. Do you like Tyrann Matthew? Yes or no?
Go Vikings, never forget. That's fair, Wampa. That is fair.
Honey Badgers. We don't like Tyrann Matthew around here, and we have our reasons.
You can't
I
say that when
personally,
this is
I
Kyronia. This
personally
is
have
my
multiple.
show. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. All I said that for was I like it when guys play for their like hometown, and he was an LSU guy who's now playing for the New Orleans Saints. So that's just cool. Anyways, but yeah, not a ton to say about the Saints, but I just like them for those few reasons. But I do like them a lot for those reasons. At number 6, we've got the Detroit Lions, baby. Now, the Detroit Lions, I love an underdog story. I root for underdogs so much. If I'm ever watching a random sporting event, college game or whatever, I always find myself rooting for the team that's losing because I just love comebacks. I love good games in general. And like if I'm watching like a really good like college game and I will root for the team that's losing. And I don't do this on purpose, but then like if that team takes the lead, I now find myself subconsciously rooting for whatever team just lost the lead. This doesn't have a ton to do with the Detroit Lions. Well, it kind of does. But the point of that being, a team that has just always been at a disadvantage. I just want to see that team succeed. And so the Lions have just been so bad for so long. And they've got some players that I really like. DeAndre Swift, one of my favorite running backs in the league. I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I really like Dan Campbell, the coach. The Lions are clicking and they're starting to have more success and be a better team, and I just love it. And that's why they're almost at my top 5. The Lions couldn't even beat Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that's a big L. That's a big rip. I almost hate the Saints as much as the Pack. Wampa's down bad.
Man.
You showed the Saints and he's going bonkers. Show me number 2, Jags 3. No. But I love the Lions. At number 5, I got the Tennessee Titans. Now, similar vibe to Saints and Steelers. Lance, he's active in chat. Obviously, he's one of my monitors. One of my absolute best friends. He's a big Titans fan, so that makes me like him a little bit more. The biggest reason is that Treylon Burks, the rookie receiver from the Arkansas Razorbacks, plays for them. And then they also have Malik Willis, who isn't really playing yet, but I love those young studs, and I love running quarterbacks. So all those things click together to make me really want to root for the Titans. But that's pretty much all I have to say. Treylon Burks is the biggest reason, but I also like Malik Willis, and then my friend is a big fan of him. So all those reasons make me like the Titans a lot. I wish we had drafted Malik. The Vikings would have been much higher than where I put them if they had a young stud quarterback who was not Kirk Cousins. All right. Now, I feel like the top 4 teams I like, there's a little bit of a gap between where I was just at and the top 4 teams. The top 4 teams, I love all of these teams. Kirk is not as good as any quarterback in the league. Wait, other way? Oh, Work wasn't?
Oh. Doomy. That's a common Doomy L.
Malik is insane on Madden. That is so facts. I'm doing a franchise and he's my quarterback. And he's like a 69 overall. Nice. But he's good. He is really good. All right. But yeah, I feel like these top 4 teams, there's a little bit of a gap between them and the rest of the teams. I love all 4 of these top 4 teams. At number 4, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Let me tell you.
What?
Oh, you're going to laugh at me. It's mainly because I absolutely love Kyler Murray and I love Hollywood Brown. Those are the biggest reasons.
Gosh.
I know Oklahoma guys, so not really for the college stuff. But Kyler Murray, how many times have I said, I love young studs? I love running quarterbacks. That's Kyler Murray. Plus, he's just cool. He streams on Twitch. He plays video games. Doesn't make him a worse football player? Probably. But it's still cool.
He
loves
that double XP.
Double XP weekend. Gotta take advantage of it, bro. Kyler running looks like a toddler. All right, I might have to time out Doomis. I'm so tired of that joke. That joke is so overused.
Doomy, come on. At least be original, pal.
They have posted that joke every year since he's been in college. Kyrocast is a short king stan.
Bruh.
We do love a short king around here, I gotta say. It's a joke, guys. Don't worry, Doomis. I'm not actually mad. But yeah, I just love Kyler Murray. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. Probably my favorite Madden quarterback. I've used him so much. The Cardinals have been like my go-to team a lot of years. It would be another team that we're about to talk about, but you get kind of clowned if you play this other team. Anyways, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But I also love Hollywood Brown. I've just been a massive fan of him since he came to the league. I was really sad when he left the Ravens because like I said, I love Lamar Jackson, and Lamar to Hollywood Brown just made me so happy. But now, Kyler Murray, who I do like a little bit more than Lamar Jackson, is going to Hollywood Brown, and they also have that old school connection, so that's just cool too. Yes, there's other stuff about the Cardinals I like, but that's mainly what it is. Is those two players are just two of my favorite players in the league, are Kyler Murray and Hollywood Brown. Does Kyle have to do a jump pass to complete anything? Why are the Seahawks
Oh,
your number 3? Are the Seahawks your number
I
3?
ooh,
As
are
long as
they
Kyler
number
wears that
3?
visor, he'll never win a Super Bowl. That visor looks dope. Come on. Come on. All
Visors are
right.
pretty dope.
If it was not for contractual agreements, this next team would probably be number 2. But at number 3 are the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs, I just love the Chiefs. I love them so much with Tyreek Hill, so that sucks that he's gone. But they would probably be number 3 either way. Tyreek Hill, like I said, is probably my favorite receiver in the league, non-Cowboy. But my absolute favorite player in the league, again, non-Cowboy. I'm going to keep putting that asterisk so people don't go crazy. But my favorite player in the league is Patrick Mahomes. I just love Patrick Mahomes. The way he plays is amazing. He's so cool. He's so good. And he is, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion, the only player in the league that right now has a foreseeable chance when it's all said and done to rival Tom Brady for the greatest player of all time. Obviously, he has a lot to do before that. But like of the players in the league right now, he's the only
Wow.
one that really has a shot at getting there. And that's not crazy to say. I think everyone would agree with that. I'm not saying he is or is going to, but that's just a cool thing to root for, knowing that you're watching the early stages of a guy who has the chance to get there. But also just the way he plays. He's just so like fluid and smooth with how he plays. He's got a massive arm. Dude is just so fun to watch. I love watching the Chiefs because I love watching Patrick Mahomes play football. It's just so fun. Dude is amazing. Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. He's also super fun. I really like Travis Kelce. Um, those are the main players on the Chiefs that I like. Mainly just those two. I mean, I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire a decent amount. I like Honey Badger when he was there, even if other people in my chat did not. Caleb says should be higher. I thought you'd be happy I had him at number 3. He's in the top 3. That's an elite squad. And number 2 is strictly because I have to. No, but I absolutely love the Chiefs. Also, they're red, so that just helps so much. If this team was any color other than the red, I don't know if they'd be all the way at number 3, but it is what it is. No, they probably would still be. I love Patrick Mahomes so much. So I don't think I'm ever not rooting for the Chiefs. Like every time I see the Chiefs play, I'm wanting them to win. I don't know what it is. Something about Patrick Mahomes. I just want his legacy to keep getting fed. I don't know why. Chief Mahomes would be so sick. I want a detailed explanation for your number 2. I'll give you the best explanation I can. But yeah, I just love Patrick Mahomes. I love the Chiefs. Travis Kelce's awesome, and I want to see the Chiefs win more Super Bowls. If the Cowboys are not going to make the Super Bowl, then I'm rooting for the Chiefs. There you go. Jim McMahon. Who, bruh? Who is that?
Dude,
All right.
I looked at a picture of this guy. Who the heck is he? Oh, oh my goodness, he's got a visor.
How about some
Chat, he has
history
on a
lessons?
visor with the old school Drew Bledsoe face mask. Holy smokes.
Y'all need to
Okay.
grow up. I've said I don't know football history that well. I love football so much more than basketball, but I know so much about basketball history and like hardly anything about football history. I don't know why.
Uh, that's pretty crazy. All right, well, shout out to Wampa for that. I
Shout
had
out
no
to Jim
idea.
McMahon on the 1985 Bears. You're a stud. If you're watching this, Mr. McMahon, not even talking about the WWE guy, but if you're watching this, Jim, is that what he said? Jim McMahon? Hey, Jim, if you're watching this, you're a stud. Stud. Nothing but love here from the Kyrocast show. All right. At number 2, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I used
Oh,
to
here we go.
despise this team. I was so hyped. And every Seahawks fan is going to get mad at me and hate that I have them at number 2 and just despise me when I say this. I cannot tell you how hyped I got when Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl. Now, speaking about that team, I loved Marshawn Lynch and I loved Cam Chancellor and that secondary. That
Uh,
team was just good. So I did like that team a decent amount. Uh, But
Man,
the
they were
Seahawks,
fun.
I hated the Seahawks for a long time for just random reasons. They were just, in my opinion, an annoying team. So I know I'm really making Seahawks fans happy with this intro. Um, However, as many of you know, my current girlfriend and probably soon to be fiance is a massive Seahawks fan. Like a legit,
Whoa.
whoa, big breaking news. But her family comes
Whoa.
from Seattle, and so they're just massive true Seahawks fans. And uh she always roots for the Cowboys when they're not playing this team, so I gotta having having a girl who likes football is extremely rare, I feel like. And
That's a
so
green flag.
it's a massive green flag. So if keeping that intact requires me loving the Seahawks, I'll do what I do. Now, DK Metcalf, one of my favorite receivers in the league. He's awesome. I told you about how I love Julio Jones. I feel like DK Metcalf is the closest thing to being the next Julio Jones in the league right now, just with his massive size and speed and athleticism. I love DK Metcalf. I also love Tyler Lockett. They got that, not Rashad Penny. Is it Kenneth Walker? He's the young Michigan State running back, right? Is that right? Fact check me on that. But
I
if
know he
that's
went to Michigan State. I don't even know if he's a Seahawk or not.
no, he is. He's their yeah. I like Kenneth
I,
Walker a lot too. I watched some Michigan State games last year just randomly, and then every Michigan State game I watched, I was like, this dude is sick. So
dude,
I just like him for that reason.
he ran over everybody in
Yeah.
college.
So I like it for that. Not much else to root for on the Seahawks. They're pretty bad. They had a cool week 1 win. That was fun to see. But yeah, mainly just DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker. I like all those guys. But so I'll talk about the actual team. But also, yeah, it's definitely a contractual obligation for why I love the Seahawks, but I kind of have to. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. Alex Collins, is he still a Seahawk? I wasn't sure if he was still on the team. Alex Collins too.
Ooh.
I have him on my franchise team in Madden I was talking about too. Uh, Alex
Ooh. Oh,
Collins.
Alex Collins
He's
is a
not
free
really.
agent.
He is a free agent. He was on the
Yeah.
Seahawks, but I thought he was a free agent now. He's not really amazing. Hasn't been amazing in the league or anything, but I like
Oh,
Alex
man.
Collins, obviously. That's Seahawks. And at number 1, if anyone could have guessed, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not gonna talk too long about it. Dallas Cowboys are my number 1 favorite team because they're my family's favorite team. They always have been. Uh, my family wasn't even a bandwagon. I mean, it kind of seemed like that. I feel like my family stayed Cowboys fans because of the '90s, but like my dad's dad, who was born in, I want to say sometime in the 30s or 40s, was like a lifetime Cowboys fan. I don't know. My family's always been Cowboys fans, and so growing up, everyone in my house was a Cowboys fan, and so that's just kind of why it happened to me. Now, has that been a curse? Yes. Does it make my life constant pain? Yes. But will I forever love that blue star? Yes. I don't really know what to say. If I talk about what I love about the Cowboys right now, Mike Parsons, Trayvon Diggs when he's getting picks, CeeDee Lamb when he's not dropping touchdowns, Zeke when we go back in time 5 years. Dez
Dude,
caught the football. Dumas, I'm not arguing with you.
Dez totally caught it, Doomy.
Break
I'll sit
tradition.
here and argue. I'll argue for you.
Break tradition. Be your own man. I have genuinely considered that at times. I just can't do it. No, as much as this team hurts me, I can't ever find myself rooting for a team more than them. It's just instilled into my blood. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Cowboys number 1. You know what it is. Thank you so much for watching my list. Later in the season, when I start rooting for teams as the season goes on, you can go back to this video and see if early in the year I kept that same energy. But thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. That's just the YouTube clip out. We're still here, baby. We still got it going on.
Ooh.
Lines are waiting for
All
you.
right.
But yeah, I think I'm happy with that list pretty much. My top teams didn't really change. I told you the order changed a lot. Other than switching the Dolphins out, my top 7 was pretty much the same the whole time. Saints, Lions, Titans, Cardinals, Chiefs, Hawks, Boys. What were you gonna say?
Your top 10 was similar to mine. Similar.
Yeah, I want to hear Rambo's picks.
Okay, I have like a super nice, not nice at all. Just kidding. Haha. I have a slideshow that I'm pretty proud of, but if we can't get it pulled up, then I'll just go through it one by one.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to talk about it. I don't think we can show it. Here, let's
Ah,
see before you start going if we can
chat.
switch to face mode. Please don't
Totally lame.
crash! God's plan. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, Rambo.
Oh, we're 2
What's
for 2, boys.
yeah? You can post
Let's
in a
go.
Discord, Rambo. But what's your top 10 or whatever? Or do you have a full list, or is it just top 10 that you have?
I've I just got the top 10. Okay, Discord. Wait, Kyrocast, I sent it to you in our private deal. Do I need
Well,
do
if
I
I
need to
open
just
that, it
put it
messes
in
up your
the
face cam because your face cam is just screen recorded off of the Discord call, so I can't just.
Well, that's lame. All right, so here, let me see if
If
I
I do
can.
that, I'll have to turn your face cam off.
Okay, well, let me see if I can post this in the Discord real quick. Hoo-ah.
Yeah, it is an L. I
Chat,
meant to fix it before the stream. My bad.
chat, scrolling through my computer. Scrolling through. Nope.
Gotta warm the
Can't.
coin up if we gotta use it for overtime again.
All right, chat. It
Better than an
should be.
AP error.
It should be there.
All right, Rambo, read through it because I don't know what it is and I can't go look.
All right, so chat. Let me pull it up real quick. So, if y'all want to pull it up alongside me, please do. However, it's not there for real. Are you serious? Okay, well,
He's got to be
I don't know.
capping, but just whatever.
That's pretty sad. Ah, chat, I'm gonna cry. I need a good strong drink. All right, so just kidding. So
Alcoholic
top
Rambo,
10. No.
Ramboholic.
All right, 10 favorite NFL teams for now, chat. Because as Stephen A would say, it's fluid.
It is fluid. It
It
is subject to
changes.
change. I told you over the last 2 weeks, that list I just showed you changed so much, and it will change continuously. But that's just what it was for now.
So, all right,
But my
chat.
top 7 are probably a lock. Anyways, I'm sorry, Rambo. Continue.
No, you're good. So I'm just gonna go. I don't have a full list of 32 like Kyrocast. I just have my top 10. So starting off at number 10, I have to go. There's a few places where I break with Kyrocast, and this is one of them. Number 10, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. Why? Well, part of that is because my favorite football player of all time, Mr. Darren McFadden, started his career as an Oakland Raider. So it'll always hold a place for me.
The only winless team in the league. Also, whenever you say a team, I'm going to put where I had them. I had the Raiders at 24, Rambo at 10.
Well, here's the thing.
But to be fair,
The
I had the Raiders before changing it a little bit. I did have the Raiders around like mid-team. I think I had them at like 18 or 19, but I dropped them at 24.
So many L's in chat. But I've got the Raiders at 10. I do like Derek Carr. I love Devontae Adams as well. Also, in my slideshow, if I can ever get it to work, I'll see if I can post it after the show for reference. I have a picture of my boy Max Crosby on here. Max Crosby, love that guy. All right, that's all I got to say about the Raiders. They're 10. There's basically every team in the NFL is either mid or I really like them, unless you're the Patriots. I don't like the Patriots. All right, number 9.
Cowboys 32.
No. Number 9, I'm taking the Bolts. I'm taking the Los Angeles Chargers. Why? First of all, their uniforms are sick.
They
Ever
do have
since they
dope
updated
unis.
them for the 2020 season, they are sick. Why else do I like the Chargers? Keenan Allen. Love the route running. Love the loyalty to the organization. Why else? I love their defensive line. Bosa, Khalil. Good defensive lines make me happy. I love watching them.
I
There
had
you
the
go.
Charger. You had the Chargers at 9. I had them at 15 on this list, but I did have them between 9 and 11 for most of my list before the final list. I did drop them a bit towards the end, but I did have them. I think their highest I had them was somewhere between 8 and 9. But yeah, I had them at 15. You had them at 9.
Nice. So both are just likable. I agree. And
I agree too.
Brandon Staley, young coach. Love rooting for young coaches. Wishing him the best. Number 8. Ooh, Kyrox is gonna hate this one. I'm taking the Cheeseheads up north in Lambeau. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers at
That's
number
fine.
8. Aaron
I
Rodgers. It's fine, actually. I love that. Aaron Rodgers, my dog. I love Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones, I like him too. Do I like do I really hate anybody with the Packers? No. Do I have any other favorite players on the Packers? Not anymore. Aaron Rodgers is that guy for me. I love it. Matt LaFleur, another young coach. So there you go. He's a stud.
I had the
See, I'm at
Packers at
8.
Rambo had the Packers at 8. I had the Packers at 17. If you asked me 3+ years ago, the Packers would have been 31 every year.
See, okay. See, that's growth. I love that. I love the growth from you.
My
I really
character
do.
developed a little bit, but not as much as yours apparently has. 17 for
So,
me, 8 for Rambo. Number 7, Rambo, who you got?
moving on to number 7. We were taking a visit to the 12th man, and we were going to Seattle. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks at number 7. Why? Because I loved it when Russell Wilson was there. Their history is just so awesome. So many fun memories watching the Seahawks ball. And yes, Doomy, the uniforms are sick. Let's be real. The all green uniforms are heat. So,
Okay, I'll give you that the Seahawks uniforms now are very good. The old Seahawks uniforms
we're
sucked so
trash.
bad.
Straight trash. But
Well,
the all greens go so hard. Love DK. If I told one of my former teammates, I will not say who, I said if I could go back in time and play high school ball again, I would have a pacifier mouthpiece. To which he replied, "Bruh, that's stupid." But that's beside the point. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Love those guys up
This
north.
is the first time that I had a team higher than Rambo did. Rambo had the Seahawks at 7. I had the Seahawks at 2. Number 6.
Dog, that was me. Okay. Straight up
Peachinator was
admits
like,
it.
nah, dog. I claim that. I claim that take.
Yeah. I was at Dick's
Put
Sporting
my name
Goods
on
and
that.
I was at Dick's Sporting Goods and I was like, I miss football. I kind of just want to walk by the mouthpieces. I looked and I saw a pacifier. It was there. And I was like, I wish I would have worn one of these. Anyway,
He was at
number 6.
Dick's putting things in
I
his mouth? What? Number 6, moving on.
Number 6. I love Florida. Florida's a blast. So that means we got to go down to the 305. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins. Why? Also, uniforms, hype. Stadium, hype. Receiving core, ultra hype. I love
Receiving
Jalen
core is
Waddle.
hype.
I love
Waddle,
the
Hill,
celebration.
Gesicki. Mwah.
I I love watching Tyreek Hill ball. I love watching Tua silence all the haters. I love the defense. I love the secondary. I love Mike McDaniel. I love everything about the Miami Dolphins. They're so fun. Number 5.
Hold on, so that was
Going
6?
Yep, that was number 6.
He had the Dolphins at
Boys down in the
6.
305.
I had the Dolphins at 4 before started to get a little annoyed with people with the Dolphins. Not the Dolphins themselves, but Rambo plus everyone hyping them up dropped them to 11 for me. So we had them at 6. 6. I had them at 11.
Even in the Tannehill days, Chad, I was like, man, I just want Miami to win today. But they weren't this high on my list. But ever since they made their new additions, y'all, Miami's so fun. I love it. Number
Number
5.
5.
We're going back up north. I'm taking the Detroit Lions.
Respected.
I did not know if I want to put them a little higher, but I think number 5 is a pretty good spot. Uniforms, hype. Dan Campbell, even more hype. DeAndre Swift, he's fun. I love it. Also,
I love DeAndre Swift.
got former Razorbacks on the squad, which makes them even more hype. Guys, they get
I
so
also
many
love.
hype points from me.
I should have mentioned this with the Lions. I think his name is Aiden Hutchinson, that rookie
Oh,
D lineman.
Aiden
That
Hutchinson's
dude
a W.
is a beast.
Shout out to Michigan football. Um, Also, one more quick thing. The Lions, their 2 best uniform combos. The gray color rush and the Thanksgiving throwbacks.
The gray color rush is so sweet.
And the Thanksgiving throwbacks as well. Don't at me. So,
I had the Lions at 6. You had them at 5. They're one of my favorite teams. Pretty respect. So far, we have not had a team be the same number yet. The Cowboys don't count, especially because you're lying. But I want to see if that ends up happening.
all right. So that's number 5. Number 4, we are headed to Kansas City, and we're rocking with the Chiefs.
Bandwagon.
Why?
Bandwagon.
I have been to Arrowhead, and I can personally say the Chiefs fan base. I love the energy. It's
You're a dang
great.
bandwagon, Ram, but you don't like the Chiefs because they're good.
Wrong. The fan base energy, it's awesome. Arrowhead, legit. Love the color scheme, love the uniforms. Now,
Yeah, you only like the Chiefs because of
no,
Patrick
no, 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 no,
Mahomes.
no.
That's cringe.
I love me some Patrick Mahomes. I love watching him act as a gunslinger. Here's the thing. Lance, welcome to the chat, and I appreciate the kind words. Not. The chat. The Chiefs' red zone offense. It's such cheese. Y'all, when the Chiefs get in the red zone, are y'all not mesmerized by what you're seeing with your eyes? Are y'all not just totally gravitated towards the TV, being, oh, I'm I know it's gonna be a flip to Kelsey, but I want to see it anyway. Oh, there's the flip to Kelsey. Look at the touchdown. It's easy money. Y'all, the Chiefs are fun. Just deal with it.
Just deal with it.
All right, so Kyro, where did you have the Chiefs? You had the Chiefs at 3, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the Chiefs at 3. You had them at 4.
Yep.
Also, obviously,
I
I was just giving you crap for putting the Chiefs high. But yeah, I had the Chiefs at 3. I love the Chiefs.
Oh, do me. Nah.
Titans were 32 on both lists. That's true. Whenever if you do happen to put the Titans, I won't say where I put them, so Lance has to go watch the YouTube video when it comes out and find out where I put
That's
them.
oh, come on, Doomy. Why are you always lying? Number 3. I did not know where to. I didn't know what to do with 2 and 3, y'all. I was torn. Last year, 2 and 3 would be switched, but this season, number 3, we're going back to SoFi. I'm taking the LA Rams. Why? The LA Rams, also fun. Both sides of the ball, legit.
Philly
The
won, Dallas
uniforms,
2.
the uniforms, even more legit. SoFi Stadium, awesome.
I was joking about the
Sean
Chiefs, but you're actually a bandwagon for this one. I had the Rams at 29. He has them at 3.
Sean McVay. Ever since Sean McVay got hired, watching his introductory press conference, I was like, I like this guy a whole lot. Sean McVay single-handedly got me interested in watching Rams football. Totally honest.
Rambo's favorite teams are literally the Rams and the Eagles. Super Bowl champions and a 3-0 team. Bandwagon.
I don't know about that, chat. But still, I've got the Rams at 3. Kyrogus had the Rams
At
way too
29.
low. 29, yep. Pretty dang low. Number 2, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We are going to the 615. Going to Nashville, Nissan Stadium, rocking the Tennessee Titans. Why? Last season, I would have had the Rams ahead of the Titans. But the Titans drafted Burks. I love Burks. I've seen him play several times. He's awesome. And y'all, Nashville, chat. If y'all haven't
A
been,
Lance fan.
if y'all haven't been to Nashville, you need to go. But y'all, in Nashville, there's so many great things, and the Titans just added a list. I love Burks. I love Malik. I love King Henry, and I love him stiff arming the helmets at practice every day. I love Taylor Lewan and his swag as an offensive lineman. Speedy recovery to your injury. I love busting with the boys with no free shoutouts. Y'all, the Titans are just awesome. And oh yeah, one more thing. Their uniforms, sick. Powder blues go hard. Number 1, actually, Kyrogus, where did you have the Tennessee Titans? Did you have them
I
in
won't
your
I
top
won't
5?
I won't say where I put them, so Lance has to watch the YouTube video. But you had them at 2.
Ooh, all right. Number 1, chat. Everybody knows.
The Philadelphia
Everybody,
Eagles.
everybody can say what the heck they want. Everybody can spread all the fake news they want. Everybody can spew all the gibberish. Whatever. Nobody cares because at number 1, I'm rocking with the Dallas Cowboys.
The Arkansas
Why?
Razorbacks.
The Dallas Cowboys. Where do I start with the Dallas Cowboys? Real quick though, one knock against the Cowboys.
Oh, a knock right off the bat?
I can't stand Jerry Jones. That's the only knock I have against the Cowboys. Stadium, great. Location, great. Uniforms, great. Players, great. Dak, Zeke, fun. CeeDee Lamb, fun. Micah Parsons, extra fun. Trayvon Diggs, when he doesn't give up bombs, super fun. That's just how I describe the Cowboys when they're winning. Fun. And when they're not winning, guess what? I root for them anyway because I keep it real. So there you go. Dallas Cowboys. Also, McFadden finished his career as a Cowboy, rushed for 1,089 yards in his first year with the Cowboys. People don't like to say that because everybody's a certified McFadden hater, but it doesn't matter. The Cowboys are my number 1, and I stand by it.
Is
And
Rambo's
y'all can't.
list valid?
Ooh, I think it's more than valid. To be honest with you. Anyway, but yeah,
Okay.
so chat. Sorry I couldn't get it to pull up on Discord. I'm not really sure what happened with that, but
Rambo's never been valid in his life. That's probably true.
so
Um,
if I can get this pulled up, I will. That way y'all can reference it throughout the season. So I have other teams that I like as well. I thought about putting the Jaguars on here.
did
I
you try
thought
to
about
post it in the NFL Kyrocast channel? Because, yeah, it's not there.
I did try, but I don't really know. So I don't know. I'll have to see what I do with that. I'm not that smart, chat.
The Eagles are 1A.
I thought about putting the Jaguars on here. Chat. I thought about putting the Cleveland Browns on here. I like the Cleveland Browns. I'm rooting for the Cleveland Browns. They've had a rough go of it. If you're rooting against the Cleveland Browns, you're just a bully at this point. Don't be a bully. Nobody likes bullies. Also, hot take, the brown and orange, pretty lit. Demi will disagree with me, but I don't care. That's my top 10, boys. Take it or leave it.
There you go. So it was. Well, I don't remember. I don't. Real quick, just list them. What was it? Caleb says hydrate. You're trying to make me go to the bathroom again.
Yeah,
Actually,
Caleb,
I'm out of water.
he's gone to
Believe
the
it or
bath.
not.
He's gone to the bathroom 3 times since the stream started.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All
Pretty
right,
bad.
going from 10 to 1. Raiders, Chargers, Packers, Seahawks, Dolphins, Lions, Chiefs, Rams, Titans, Cowboys.
Pretty valid list. Besides the Rams. Pretty cringe.
The Rams are super high for me.
Refund of
Insanely high.
interest.
When the Rams won the Super
I'll
Bowl last
refund.
year, I was just like, yes. Everybody wanted the
I was
Bengals to
just
win,
like,
and I held
yes.
the line. I said, nope, not today.
Hold the line. Hold.
Not rooting for Joe.
Yes. I was like, yes. When the Eagles win, I'm like, yes. Isn't that you, Rambo? Isn't that right? Eagles fan? Big Eagles guy? Huh?
When Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown get me mega points, I say, yes.
Rambo, what about the Jalen to AJ connection?
Dude, the connection is strong. I'm not going to lie. But when the Eagles win, I'm like, whatever. And if the Eagles lose, I'm like, well, as long as they got me fantasy points, I don't care. So there you go. That is okay, chat. My honest opinion about the
Little
Philadelphia
sus.
Eagles. My honest opinion about the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fans annoy me to death. I do not like them. Most of them are obnoxious.
Rambo, self-hate is not
They're
healthy.
loud. They're annoying.
Rambo, it's
However,
important to love yourself.
chat. My favorite color is green.
Ugh!
Number one.
But
Number
it's
two.
not even green. It's like poop green.
They're bringing back the Kelly Greens this season, Kyrocast. Number two.
So animated.
I played in high school, and we went by the Eagles.
Blech, I hated that.
Yeah.
Hated it.
I will say, we had better Eagle wings, so
Throw back the
Philly.
archetype.
Hey, Archetype's a cool skin, man.
The archetype
Can't tell me
green.
otherwise.
The robot frog.
It was unironically the biggest Eagle. No.
Ironically, the biggest Eagles fan I know, besides EDP. That's hilarious.
I'm not an Eagles fan. But I do love Jalen Hurts. I love Devontae Smith. I love A.J. Brown. Yeah.
You love Alabama? Hurts and Devontae? You used to like Alabama guys?
I got a lot of respect for Alabama.
Ooh, flip a coin? It's been
Even
a
though
minute since we've
Arkansas is
done
going to
that.
beat Alabama this Saturday. But, I don't really know what else to say. And yes, when the Eagles played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I was riding the Nick Foles hype train.
You are a
And
disgrace.
the Philly special got me a little hyped.
I hate you.
Only because they're playing the Patriots. And if I had to pick my two least favorite teams, probably be the Patriots. And who would my 31 be? I actually don't know who my 31 would be. I'm torn between the Texans, the Falcons, and the Bucks. Because I can't stand Tom Brady.
Texans, Falcons, and Bucks are your least favorite teams, you said?
What'd you say, Kyrogus? Least favorite teams? I've
You
got the
said
Patriots
Texans. You said you can't decide between Texans, Falcons, and Bucks. Is that what you said?
as number 31. My least favorite team by far is New England. I love Mac
Whack.
Jones. I can't stand anybody else. I hate
Shout out to the Texans, my Madden 11 team.
I hate the New England Patriots with a passion. I have never liked the New England Patriots. Ryan Mallett played for the Patriots. I still didn't like him. Guys, I don't really know what else to say.
Y'all got about 30 seconds left to get your Kyro coins in on this prediction. Put them on the line now. Rambo puts them on the heads or tails vote.
Ooh,
If you don't know what to do, just make it closer to being even.
I'll give it. I will put in.
No, not best of 3. Caleb, it's just one and done. Best of 11. Guys, best of 335.
There you go. I will put in 650. There you go.
All right, there's a lot of coins on. I think that's tails.
It's my magic number.
Here we go for Kyro coins. Actually, I'm going to reflip that because I did a slow flip.
Oh.
All right. You're going to see it along with me. That's heads. Ladies and gentlemen, the under wins and somebody's getting paid.
Get paid, baby. Let's go. Easy money. Dude.
Dumas says not rigged. That means he picked
Maybe
heads.
I should be a betting man.
Caleb, you put 4,500 on tails and lost it. I feel so bad, especially when you're the one that redeemed it. That's a net loss of 47, almost 4,800 for Caleb, dude. I feel so bad.
Can we get a bruh for Caleb?
If the sound alert works, I told you they're broken right now. which I have no idea why.
I
I've
forgot.
I'll refund you if I
Man.
can. I don't know why they're
Yeah, refund me.
broken. It's so annoying.
Well, here. How about just a bruh? Will that work?
Bruh. Yeah, we can do
Come
it.
on. Oh
Sorry
yeah,
about that, Caleb. That sucks.
you have the better
Well,
mic than me.
it's different from. It's not my bot Rogus. It's like the application. It just I noticed it wasn't working today for some reason. Anyways, next we can talk about reacting to week 3.
Mm.
All right, I gotta pull.
Reacting to what in week 3?
Well, I won't pull it all up.
Better question.
Well, what happened to that gaming stream?
Ooh.
It'll probably not be till next week, but we actually talked about that for a decent amount at the beginning of this stream. Called him not a gamer, so he cried. Yeah, bro, it hurt. It cut deep.
Yeah, that was pretty cold-hearted.
All right, let's move into this next segment. Rambo, if I asked you who were the 2 biggest winners in the world of football this week, do you know what the correct answer is? The 2 biggest winners in the entire football world this week.
Ooh, man, that's a toughie. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one. I'm gonna pick Dan Orlovsky and Mark Sanchez. Just taking a guess.
It is Mark Sanchez and Dan
Oh,
Orlovsky.
well, Jiminy Christmas, chat. Look at that.
Chat, if you don't know, the reason why we say that,
Oh,
Mark Sanchez and Dan Orlovsky are 2 players who are both known for 2 of the most infamous lowlights in National Football League history. Mark Sanchez, his name is always and forever tied to the butt fumble. He ran into the butt of his own offensive lineman and fumbled the ball off of his teammate's butt. And Dan Orlovsky, I believe he was a rookie when this happened, he is infamously known as the quarterback who ran out of the back of his own end zone for a safety. Just rolling out, sprinted out the back of the end zone, trying to evade a sack. 2 of the
and he's a
most
terrible commentator, by the way. Just gonna
side note,
casually
but I
throw
might
that in
agree.
there.
Side note, but I might agree.
Gosh, makes me mad.
But yes, infamous plays. Mark Sanchez's butt fumble, Dan Orlovsky's sprint out the back of the end zone safety. How insane is it that in the same week, and we're calling this one probably the least insane week of the NFL season so far. That's how nuts the season has been. In the same week, both of those players have so much heat taken off of them because similar plays to each of those were made. Now, in Mark Sanchez's case with the butt fumble, we have the infamous butt punt. Now, the punter for the Miami Dolphins, this was like an important play, late game. They're trying to punt the ball away. I think they were up 4 points when this happened. All the way backed up in their own end zone, punting from the back of his own end zone. One of the guys blocking, like one of the protection guys, backed up too much, and the guy punted it directly into his keister, bro. Right into the guy's butt. So
I bet that had to hurt.
well,
so bad.
Did you see after the game, he said, I have a W tatted on my butt? The guy who like the blocker, said that after the game. He's like, yeah, I got a W tatted on my butt. That's so funny.
He's a little wild for that one.
So now whenever anyone mentions the butt fumble, they're also going to be like, oh, remember the butt punt? Now, granted, I don't think either of the plays, the butt punt or the Jimmy Garoppolo play, were as bad as what plays they're relieving some heat off of. But they're at least close enough to take some of the pressure off of those other 2 guys. So now whenever anyone talks about the butt fumble, you know the butt punt is coming up. So that's crazy as well. Now, I do think Dan Orlovsky's was slightly worse, but Jimmy Garoppolo, who I'm just a big hater on Jimmy Garoppolo, I can't lie. So I was so happy to see him not only also step out of the back of his own end zone while evading a sack for a safety. What sucks is that it was actually better than what would have happened had he not stepped out, because on the same play, he throws a pick 6. But it got called back for the safety. But that's so funny.
Love that.
So no one is up more than Dan Orlovsky and Mark Sanchez this week, as their legacies are not saved or restored, but what they're most known for, they're getting a little bit of heat taken off because of the plays that transpired in this week 3 of the 2022-23 NFL season. So that was just funny. But let's actually react to week 3 now. Here we.
You want to start? You want to start with that Thursday night showdown in Cleveland, the Steelers and Browns, because that was.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. All right, this is our last scene change of the night. Can we please have a clean stream, please?
Here we
Last
go.
scene switch, ladies and gentlemen, for all the marbles.
You got it?
Bless up, baby. Bless up.
Oh, let's go.
That's a W. All right, here we go.
Oh, yes. I love looking at this screen.
I don't.
This
Let's
does
just
put a smile on my face.
let's just go through this. Let's do it this way so we don't have to look at the record. Let's just do it this way.
I still have too much red on my side, though. I didn't exactly do great. I did great
Yeah.
when it mattered, but overall, still.
Week 3 of the NFL season. It was not quite as crazy as weeks 1 and 2, but it was crazy nonetheless. Thursday night football. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Both of us picked the Steelers to win this game, but the Cleveland Browns looked really good, in all honesty. I don't know what it is, but something about Jacoby Brissett. Dude, I swear, for being a guy who's known as like a backup quarterback, he's like a 70 overall in Madden. My man Jacoby Brissett throws ropes out there on the football field. 21 of 31, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. The dude played well. I mean, for not being the starting quarterback, imagine by the time Deshaun Watson gets unsuspended, Brissett is just like, nah, fam, I got it. And they paid Deshaun Watson $250 million for Jacoby Brissett to start. I don't think that'll end up happening, but Brissett has honestly looked pretty good. As I've said so many times, I love Nick Chubb, and he had himself another game over 100 yards with a touchdown. Kareem Hunt also played very well as well. Kareem Hunt's easily the best backup running back in the league. I think far and away the Browns have the best running back duo. I don't know who I would say rivals that the nearest. The Cowboys have a good running back duo, but I don't think I'd even put them at 2. I'd have to look at all the duos.
Ooh.
Kind of a side tangent. Who had an insane game, though? Again? Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper used to be on the Cowboys, so I know all about Amari Cooper. Absolutely love him. One of my more favorite receivers in the league. I slept on him twice and had him on my bench the last 2 weeks in fantasy. When I played Amari Cooper, he scored me 2 points. Didn't play in the next 2 weeks. 25 plus points in both games. I hate my life. I suck at fantasy. I suck at picking football games. I just have the worst football mind ever. I don't know why anyone listens to me. Amari Cooper, 7 receptions, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay, buddy. And Njoku also had a great game. But yeah, the Browns just played well. I mean, the score looks a little bit worse than it should because of that final play, which is a little bit of controversy. Well, a lot of bit of controversy for the betting stuff with that big swing.
Oh man,
Mitch Trubisky.
I forgot about that.
I mean, he had a rushing touchdown and he was 20-32, 207. It's not like it's terrible statistically. He doesn't turn the ball over, really. I mean, he's never really been known as a guy who turns the ball over. He's just known as and continues to be a player that just misses the smart plays. Like, he'll have a wide open receiver. He doesn't hit. I sent you that clip, I think, earlier today of Pickett getting pissed off when he runs a comeback or a curl for a first down, wide open, and just never gets looked at, and just starts throwing his fists. Like, it's like they're getting frustrated. And what sucks is that I feel like, I mean, their offensive line is bad. But even without TJ Watt, the Steelers' defense is awesome, and their skill guys are really promising. Najee Harris is really good, and they have 3 really good receivers with really good. Pretty good to very potential and promising receivers, and Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Chase Claypool. And the Pat Freiermuth is a decent tight end. Like I said, Najee Harris is a really good running back. The Steelers just need a quarterback and an offensive line, and they're a very strong team. But that quarterback and offensive line is bad enough that you just can't get it done. I mean, that's the most, arguably the most important parts of an offense are the quarterback, definitely, and then arguably the offensive line in certain situations. The Steelers' defense is really good, but they just weren't really able to do anything. I don't know if the defense had any takeaways at all. Let me check the total stats before I say that. Yeah, the Steelers had 1 turnover, and that was the only turnover of the whole game. But that one turnover was the last play lateral fumble loss. So I don't even know if I'd count that. So really, it should be there were no turnovers, and the Browns won 17-23. So it was a decent game. But yeah, the Steelers got to get their offense figured out. I want to see them just play Pickett and see if he can develop and make that team any better. But yeah, anything else on the Browns, Steelers?
Nope. Steelers kind of played like I expected them to. Browns exceeded expectations slightly.
Yeah,
Obviously, we both had the Steelers winning this game, so
yeah. So
props to the
that
Browns.
sucks.
They played well at home. Joku kind of gets a little bit of heat for all of his drops, so it's kind of fun to see him get a touchdown.
Yeah.
So not much to
Bills
say about that one.
Yeah. Bills Dolphins. This game was nuts. The Buffalo Bills were pretty much favored, and I still think they are the best team in the league. But the Dolphins, who are one of the hottest teams in the league, were able to come out on top. The Bills' final drive, they didn't have any timeouts, but they had the time they needed to manage the clock properly and get in the field goal range for the win, and they couldn't do it. That Dolphins defense showed up on that last play. Even after
Dude,
the butt punt safety, the Bills couldn't get it done. The Bills went from
shut
having to
up.
get a touchdown to only needing a field goal, and they were going to win. Not
Dude,
even a field goal to tie, a field goal to win from having to get a touchdown, and they couldn't even get in field goal range with time left. Absolutely crazy. That last play, it was like Dak Prescott versus the 49ers-esque. The guy clearly, if he just, before getting tackled, if he just made a straight horizontal beeline towards the sideline, like he picked up some yards, but then he tried to pick up like 2 or 3 more. If he just went out of bounds, they would have had plenty of time to even get another play before a field goal, but they didn't have time to get up and spike it, and it was frustrating to watch. And it was
yeah,
mostly frustrating to watch for that Bills offensive coordinator with the
yep. Shout out,
greatest rage I've
shout out to
ever
Ken
seen.
Dorsey.
That was
Man,
awesome. I
that was
love
something
that.
else.
I love that. Regardless, Joshua Allen. Joshy Poo is throwing 63 passes, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers. What more do you want? MVP. MVP. Everyone wants to say, oh, the Bills lost. Everyone wants to say, oh, the Bills lost. The Bills lost. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Tua. They're better MVP candidates than Josh Allen. My man is throwing the ball 63 times, completing 42 passes, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, not turning it over. That man is the MVP. I don't care what anyone says. Lamar Jackson has been insane. Jalen Hurts and Tua have been very good, and they're winning games. But Josh Allen is still the best, most valuable player in the league right now. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes is technically a better quarterback, but, like, you can't argue with this. Dude, what do you want from him?
Throwing 63 passes is pretty
Not
nuts.
only that, he rushed it 8 times for 47 yards. My dude had 450 yards, just about. 2 touchdowns,
Yeah.
no turnovers. And people want to act like this loss puts him out of the current MVP race. That's just insane. Singletary, does he suck, or do the Bills just have a horrible running game plan? Because
I think they just have a horrible running game plan because a few years ago, Devin Singletary was him.
I feel like he is like way better
not
than
him.
his. I feel like he's way better than the stats always show. 9 carries, 13 yards. Dog. What in the world? I don't know. And then receiving, well, holy frick, I say that. He had 78 receiving yards. He had the same amount of rushes and receptions. I don't know what that's about. That makes me think the Dolphins are playing a lot of like coverage, like sagging off. Not necessarily prevent, but that like diamond quarter defense if the flat's going to constantly be open to just dump it to Singletary. Stephon Diggs, I mean, he's been great this year, better than he has been in a few years, I feel like, Stephon Diggs. He didn't have a great, like, monumental game, but 7 receptions, 74 yards is nothing bad whatsoever. Gabe Davis didn't do that much, just a few receptions. That ball went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different receivers. This is something that a lot of people were talking about that also needs to be brought up. How? 495 yards to 212, and you lose. How do you put up 500 yards and only put up 19 points? Did they even get field goals? Where's the kicking stats? Hold on. I got to find this.
I
Now. It's driving me crazy.
mean, you'd have to. You'd have to get 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a safety.
They got
So-
1 field goal. How do you... And yeah, they got a safety. So that's 2 points. How do you have 500 yards and only 17 points. And did the Dolphins have like a defensive touchdown? How do they have 21 points on 200 yards? I mean, I guess, what the frick? What the frick? I just clicked some link and just screwed up everything.
Hey, good job. Hey, we
I-
saw that already.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, wait, I just totally spoiled. Lance doesn't have to watch the video now. Frick! How's that the one team that I happen to be on? How? What bullcrap,
Good.
dude? Oh my gosh.
Let's go watch the video. So,
But yeah,
we're
not
up
much.
to vicinity.
Yeah, for real. Not much else to say about this game. Josh Allen is still amazing. I don't know how that team had that many yards and didn't score more points. You had the butt punt safety, which got you the ball and put you to where you just had to get a field goal to win. They couldn't do it. Mahomes and Josh Allen both were not successful in game-winning drives this week, which was crazy. So that was kind of frustrating. Yay for the Dolphins. They look awesome. But, man, I was really wanting the Bills to have a super special season. I didn't think they were going to go undefeated, but a loss this early to a divisional team, it hurts. I think the Bills are going to be absolutely just fine, but it does hurt for them. What else? We're going to speed it up for games I don't have that much to talk about. Bengals-Jets. Don't have much to talk about. The Jets suck. The Bengals finally got their first win. Joe Burrow, 23-36, 275, 3 touchdowns. Not like an insanely amazing game, but pretty good game. Rushing, they didn't do much. Did he get sacked that much? That's what I'm interested in.
I saw him get sacked a few times actually.
He
I know
got
Quentin Williams
sacked
took him down
twice.
once.
Look at that. He only got sacked twice.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
That's a W for the Bengals, considering they got sacked, what, wasn't it like 8 and then 7 or something the first 2 weeks?
I think so.
It might have been more than that. I want to say
high.
it might have even been more than that. It was something crazy. But only 2 sacks given up. I mean, it's the Jets, so who cares? But that is good for them. The Jets aren't good. Oh, there's the Joe Goto that I know. Joe Flacco, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 52 passing attempts. This dude is like 50 years old, throwing the ball 52 times. Gotta respect it. Yeah, they didn't really do anything at all. It's the Jets, so nothing to talk about with Bengals Jets.
Nice touchdowns, Joe.
I hate that I gotta come back in here every time. Just take me back to this part. Raiders Titans. The Raiders are the only winless team in the league. I gotta give it to the Titans.
Which is disappointing.
Derek Carr, 50% almost completion percentage, and more like 60. 303, 2 touchdowns a pick. I mean, it's just an average game. Josh Jacobs played decent. Devontae Adams didn't really do much. I mean, he had 5 catches, but only 36 yards. What the frick are you doing? Get Devontae Adams deeper down the field. Holy piss, Mac Hollins. I don't know who you are, but great game, man. Touchdown, 158 yards, 8 catches. Literally, call me a casual. I don't know who you are, but great game. But they just couldn't pull out the win. I do like the Titans, so congrats on the victory. I didn't get to watch this game, so I don't have that much to say. I do know, I think the Raiders scored a touchdown, but did not get the 2-point to tie it late. Is that right?
I think that's right. Lance, you'll have to kind of fact check us on this, but
I think that's what happened.
I believe that's correct, and so that's what cost them the ball game.
Saints Panthers. If you go back to last week's WGP, what did I say? I said this is a trap game. Everyone's going to favor the Saints, but I think the Panthers have a real shot to get their first win here. And I almost, in overtime, switched my pick to the Panthers. I obviously wish I did that. Funny enough, if you go back to the WGP and overtime, I said, I think the 2 closest games that I might switch are from the Saints to the Panthers and from the Lions to the Vikings. I should have done both of those, and I did Rams to the Cardinals. So that just shows you how great I am at WGP. I didn't watch this game either. I just saw what happened. I just saw the verdict. Jameis Winston, 2 picks. That sucks. Other than that, pretty average game. Kamara, whatever game. Chris Olave. I did hear about this. I think dude had, well over 20 fantasy points with no touchdowns. That's crazy from Olave. Michael Thomas was whatever. Traquan Smith, oh my gosh. 105 yards off 4 catches. Average 26 a pop. That's nice. But for the Panthers, I mean, Baker did nothing. Less than 50%, 170 yards, touchdown. That's not a good game. Christian McCaffrey, what did I say last week? He had 2 catches. I said he needs to have at least 25 touches for them to win. 25 carries, 100 yards, W. That's exactly what I said, was Christian McCaffrey needs at least 25 touches. And there you go. You got your first win.
Can we get a command W in chat? That was a
Thank you,
Kyrocast
Rambo.
W.
Thank you, Rambo. I appreciate
Gotta
it.
say.
I appreciate that. Not much else to say there. Congrats to the Panthers on getting their first win. What else do we got to
Kyrocast
react to?
congratulated the Panthers. That must mean he's a Panthers fan. Because he
Had him like
congratulated
15.
them.
Had him like 15. I don't dislike the
Yeah.
Panthers. It's when you're supposed to hate a team. We're not getting into this. Ravens, Patriots, Lamar Jackson is that guy. 5 touchdowns, 107 yards on the ground, as well as 218 in the air with 4 touchdowns, 5 total touchdowns, 1 interception. But who cares? My man is he the only quarterback ever to have multiple games with 3 plus passing touchdowns and over 100 yards rushing back to back? Some stat like that, some ESPN style stat. But I'm here for it because Lamar Jackson is him. Pay that man. Love him. He is amazing. I don't even need to look at anyone else. I know that Lamar Jackson is the reason they won. Mark Andrews is, in my opinion, as of today, right now, I would say the second best tight end in the league. Now, if some stuff sways, he can drop down to 4. But right now, I'd say Mark Andrews is my pick for the second best running or tight end in the league. He had a great game, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. But yeah, it's all about Lamar Jackson. Patriots, rough day for Mac Jones. I mean, he had 320 yards, but 3 picks. That sucks. He did have his rushing touchdown, which everyone kept calling that dance afterwards a gritty. That wasn't even a gritty. I mean, maybe technically he was doing like the shuffle with your feet like the gritty does, but he was not doing the gritty. So everyone calling it a Mac gritty. I was like, no, if you want to see a Mac gritty, go look at the Pro Bowl because that's when he was saucing. But also, I really hated to see him get injured. I hope he's all right. I never heard anything else about the injury. I just saw the clip of him going off the field hurt, but I hope he's all right.
He suffered a severe high ankle sprain. So he's going to need surgery on that.
Surgery? How long will he be out?
I do not know that. I do know that a high ankle sprain is a pretty bad injury.
That sucks. Well, the Patriots weren't anything super special before that, but without Mac Jones, it's a wrap for them, I'd say. 156 yards, 31 yards a pop for Devontae Parker. Congratulations. Aguilar has been pretty good this year. He didn't do that much. I mean, 2 catches, 41 yards. It's not nothing, but only 2 catches isn't much. But yeah, I didn't watch this game either. I just saw Lamar Jackson popped again, and I love to see it.
At this point, I think we all love to see it. Getting his money.
Lions, Vikings. I'm skipping that one because screw the Vikings. I don't really have much to say about that one anyways. Eagles, Commanders, similar. The Commanders just suck, and the Eagles are good. That's like everyone expected that right there.
The
Chiefs.
connection.
Oh, the Hurts AJ Brown connection. Rambo's favorite.
Strong.
Chiefs, Colts. What the heck, dude? Why? You're the Indianapolis Colts. You tie the Houston Texans. You lose 24-0 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then you go out there and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. What is the matter with you?
Shout out to
that
Chris
makes me
Jones.
mad. I understand
Chris
any
Jones
given
gave
Sunday.
them the W.
Chris Jones straight up lost the game. This is one of the only games I got to watch live. Chris Jones straight up just said, you know what, Chiefs, I think we need a loss today. Let me be the stupidest player of all time. And it sucks because Chris Jones is a very good player, probably the best player on that defense, and just, dude, what in the world are you doing, man? But yeah, Colts lose/tie to 2 of the projected worst teams in the league, and then one of the favorites to come out of the AFC. They're just like, yeah, we'll take that. 1-1-1. You really can't predict anything with the Indianapolis Colts. But I mean, I had the Colts at number 6, and getting a win over the Chiefs, that's the number 6 team in the league thing to do. So what if that L take ends up becoming a W take? What if they win out?
Wouldn't that be something?
And to be fair, the Texans have not looked as bad as everyone thought. They kept it close with some teams. And then the Jaguars actually look good right now. Like, unironically. They just beat the Chargers. We'll get to that bullcrap later. I love Trevor Lawrence, though, so I'm not mad. But crazy. The Colts, I think the Colts just went up against 2 teams that were not as bad as everyone thought and were being projected to be. I think the Colts still have a truckload of issues, but maybe the Colts are not as bad as they were seeming the first couple weeks. Just maybe. Mahomes had a decent game for an average quarterback, but by Mahomes' standard, not a good game. 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. 26 yards on the ground is whatever. Juju had a decent game. Kelsey had a touchdown, but not as big of a game from Kelsey as you'd expect. But for the Colts, Matt Ryan, 2 touchdowns, no picks, good completion percentage, only 222 yards, but not bad. Jonathan Taylor honestly didn't play that great. 71 yards off 21 carries. If you're not averaging at least 4 yards a carry as a running back, I wouldn't say you had a good game. He has to be at least 4 yards a carry for me to think you were pretty good. But it's whatever. It's fine from Jonathan Taylor. 3.4 yards a carry, 71 yards. That's at least some production. Pittman, good game. But this Jelani Woods dude just had 2 goal line touchdowns. So props to you. I really don't understand how the Colts did this. I think it was the where is it? It really I was going to say the turnover battle. Oh, you can't really see it. But it was 2-1. So yes, they won the turnover battle. But one of those 2 was also the Chiefs' last play of the game. So I don't know. I don't really know what happened here. The Colts just squeaked it out somehow, and Matt Ryan actually looked good, unironically. So wild. What
That
else
was
we
a hard game
got?
to watch.
It really was. Texans Bears.
Meh.
Nah. Yay
The
for
Bears
Jalen.
uniforms were cool.
I'm glad
That's all I have.
I'm glad Justin Hurts got a win. But yeah, that's a boring game. Even though it was a 3-point game, those are just some boring teams.
If Justin Hurts existed, I'd be happy that he won too.
Justin Hurts? Is that what I said?
I don't know.
Did I say Justin Hurts?
I'm just messing with you. Yes, it did, but it's not a big deal.
Justin Fields got a win. Yay
I'm
for
just
him.
messing with you.
Jaguars Chargers. What the crap is this?
Dude.
Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, they're a top 5 team in the league. Justin Herbert is him. Blah, blah, blah. I know this team is dealing with injuries, okay? I know Keenan Allen's been injured. I know Herbert's ribs. I get it. How do you lose by 28 to the Jaguars? Oh my gosh. 38-10. The Colts lost by less points. And I got shut out. 38 points. Trevor Lawrence must be him. 28. 3 touchdowns. But really, what did he even do? James Robinson is a dog. 6 yards a carry, a touchdown, 100-yard game. Etienne, this is a very good running back duo. We're talking about running back duos. Etienne is one of the better backup running backs in the league. Look at Trevor Lawrence, man. 3 carries, 7 yards, beast on the ground.
Dog.
What did I say? I love the dog. Zay Jones, 10 catches, 85 yards, decent. Christian Kirk, decent. Nothing crazy. I really don't know. Did the Chargers just blow? Herbo was...
It's about time Christian Kirk does something. That massive payday he got. It's about time.
Yeah, the Chargers had absolutely no running game whatsoever. Absolutely none. 26 rushing yards. That's just 26 rushing yards. Gotta love that. Herbo was just a mad 297, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That's not really anything. When your leading guys are Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton, who was I want to say maybe not undrafted, but a very late pick, if not undrafted receiver 3 or 4 years ago. And he is pretty good. I'm not sleeping on Jalen Guyton. I'm just saying. He only had 2 catches, so it's not like he was a workhorse. He's just top receiver according to the stats. Eckler had 8 catches, which means they're having to dump off a lot, which is not necessarily what you want. You can win games like that, but it's not necessarily what you want. Chargers just look like they sucked. Ugh. And then what was the turnover battle? 2-0? Yeah. What the frick? The Chargers are just the Chargers. Are you going to be good or not? I had them at 4th in the preseason rankings. What the frick is this bull crap?
Yeah, I thought that was a little high, but the Jags
they
showed up to play, man. They showed up to play. I picked the Jags to win, and they got me the W.
I can't believe that. That's such garbage. And then, of course, my switch pick, Rams and Cardinals, I can't win that. Honestly, I was just happy the Cardinals technically just lost by a score and didn't get blown out. Look at Matthew Stafford. Padford, baby. Look at him. 0 touchdowns. Gotta love it. Cooper Kupp did have a rushing touchdown, which was nice for my fantasy team. I do appreciate that. But yeah, I don't really know what happened here. Cardinals, Kyler Murray, no turnovers. I don't know if you fumbled, but no picks. No touchdowns, though. 314 yards. The Cardinals didn't score a touchdown. Wow. But Hollywood Brown, I told you I love him to death. One of my favorite players in the league. Of course, the week I play him in fantasy, though, 14 catches, 140 yards, goes off. Freaking.
The speedster.
I know he won me a game in fantasy last year, so I'm not going to complain. But he was not doing this for me when I had him 2 years in a row.
Playing Modern Warfare too.
Oh my gosh.
That will never not be funny.
I know. The Cardinals didn't turn it over. They just didn't score. They just had 4 freaking field goals. Hollywood, if you're going to have 140 yards, you got to get a touchdown, man. But yeah, just 4 field goals for the Cardinals. You got to get touchdowns to win games. You have to. So,
shout out to Matt Prater.
I don't think my pick there
keeping him in the game.
Yeah, I don't think my pick there was as bad as Rambo made it out to be with his reaction. Him picking the Jaguars was a worse pick than me picking the Cardinals, but clearly
Was it though?
I mean, result-wise,
scoreboard.
No. Result-wise, obviously not, but like, bruh, what the
Come
frick?
on, man.
Packers, Buccaneers, 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, duking it out, 14-12. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns. Brady, 1. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, freaking workhorses. Could not run whatsoever as far as yards. I don't really know what the deal was here. I feel like Packers Buccaneers is usually a really entertaining game. And these offenses just struggled.
Let me put it to you this way. The game was not boring. The game wasn't boring because I needed the Packers to win for our weekly game predictions. And it was a pretty close game. So
okay, the Buccaneers
in some
offense
instances, this game was a dud, but it was not boring. The Bucs had a lot of guys out, though. That's why
what I'm trying to
to
say.
lose.
The Buccaneers, but you got to think about it this way. Yes, the Buccaneers didn't have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or Julio Jones. But the Packers have no receivers. I mean, yeah, they got Cobb, but everyone knows the Packers receiving corps is hurting without Mr. Devontae Adams. But yeah, I thought the Bucs would be able to pull it out. But yeah, they are struggling with the injuries and the stuff on offense, and Mike Evans be suspended. I really thought the Bucs would pull that one out. But going back, obviously it's easy to say this in hindsight. Going back, I would definitely change my pick to the Packers. I knew about the Buccaneers' losses, but going back, I wish I just picked the Packers. Obviously, I can say that about every game I was wrong on, but that one specifically, it's like, I should have picked the Packers there, probably. Falcons, Seahawks, nothing to say. 2 not very good teams. We both picked the Seahawks. Rip. The Falcons won. Whatever. 49ers, Broncos. The infamous Jimmy Garoppolo Orlovsky game. Look at Jimmy Garoppolo, man. 200 yards, a pick. Absolute beast. The Broncos, let Russ cook. 100 yards, no touchdown. 180 yards.
All 60 minutes of this game made me angry. Every second of every minute.
Okay, we've been talking about how the word mid is overused, and a lot of people are using mid incorrectly, but this literally was a mid-off. Neither of these teams are bad, but neither of these teams are very good. It's just rough. One of the worst games I've watched.
Like, mediocre ball teams.
For real.
Golly.
Why does Russell Wilson just not... Why is he just not good? Like, this is an actual Jimmy Garoppolo stat line. Just nothing. Just nothing.
I knew the Broncos weren't going to be very good this season. Everybody's like, ooh, Broncos country. And I was like...
Broncos country. Let's ride.
I was like, Broncos country, I don't think they're going to be very good.
You didn't think they were going to ride?
I really did not think they were going to ride. I was like, who's Russ going to throw to?
Cringe. What do you mean, who's he going to throw to? They have 2 good receivers. Sutton and Judy are both very good.
They're not DK and Lockett, though, my man.
They're not DK and Lockett, but they're decent, and they got a better running game, and I thought a better defense.
He hated Seattle because of the offensive line. Where does he go? The Broncos, with no offensive line. He has Denver Melvin Gordon, not San Diego Melvin Gordon, which
he got Javonte Williams, though, which
so I was happy. Javonte Williams did not play very well.
I know he didn't play very well, but he is a beast.
I mean, okay. I guess he did. I don't know. Melvin did
shout
get a
out,
touchdown.
shout out
Oh,
to
sorry.
Garoppolo for getting me the WGP win and just making himself look bad.
Oh
I
my
actually love
gosh.
Garoppolo for that. And then finally, Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys. Look at that beauty right there. Now, I'll tell you what. Is Cooper Rush him? Nah. I don't know. 215 yards, touchdown. He's not the reason we're winning games, but shout him out for playing well enough to
We'll
win
take
games. We will take it. Tony Pollard, 105 yards on the ground. Granted, like 60 of that was in a single play, but still. Zeke with a touchdown and a decent game as well. This is honestly, I know he's not breaking plays open, and it's sad. Even, I think Buck said this on the call last night. Zeke had like a 20-yard rush, and that was one of like 3 20-plus yard runs he'd had in like 3 years. That's depressing.
Yeah.
But, and he's like, not to like patronize him, but like, this literally is like looking like the best Zeke we've seen in a few years. And I completely agree. Zeke, through 3 games this year, has looked better than I think he has since like 2017. Like, he slowed down so much for multiple years, but he's been averaging like 5 yards a carry every game, which is not like out of this world, but it is good. And yeah, it sucks that he's pretty much washed. I mean, he pretty much has been since his rookie year, which just sucks. Like I said, 2016 rookie year Zeke is probably my favorite football player ever. Like, he was different that year, and he's never been the same. CeeDee Lamb. Oh my gosh, dude. You know it. I was losing my mind. He had 2 drops in the first half, one of which was a bomb, a dot, just an absolute rope from Cooper Rush that he just dropped. And not only did he drop it, he did not go Mamba mentality mode afterwards. He was just like, laughing it off. Don't be smiling. No. We know it's your fault. Go catch the freaking ball. Number 88 on the Cowboys, Mr. Wide Receiver 1, Mr. The Future. Catch the ball. But all of it is forgiven because he had a monster drive that ended with a sexy goal line fade, which I totally called before it happened, 1 yard or one-handed touchdown. So shout out CeeDee Lamb. He did get it together. Noah Brown, I have not stopped hating on, and my man has delivered the last 2 weeks. I mean, yeah, 5 catches, 54 yards isn't anything insane stat-wise, but Noah Brown has unironically looked really solid the past 2 weeks, and I have done nothing but hate on him, so I've got to give him his props. But the highlight of this team is easily the defense. How many sacks do we get in total? I want to look at this. You probably already know the answer. I think it's like,
well, I know.
it says
I
5
know.
sacks. I thought it was more than 5, but DeMarcus Lawrence had 3 by himself. And listen, Micah Parsons didn't get any sacks, but there are easy reasons for that. He is literally getting doubled or triple teamed almost every play in that game.
It
and will
was
probably continue to be
insane.
so. Even with that, he was getting pressures and had one that should have almost been a sack, but Daniel Jones barely got the ball off for an incomplete pass. And Micah Parsons, I don't know if it was officially the flu, but had some kind of illness that he was playing through. And like so much so that he like barely played the second half. Like Micah Parsons
food poisoning.
was
He
food
ate pizza
poisoning
the night before.
Is that actually what it was, or are you just making a Jordan reference?
I don't know. He ate the whole pizza by himself.
It was a hangover
yeah,
game. No one seemed to agree.
That was crazy. Daddy, how many times did Laney Limes get pressured? Like 22?
I think it was 27 pressures
Oh
on
my
37
gosh.
dropbacks. I think
Dude.
it was 37. Yeah, Skip and Shannon were talking about it this morning. Daniel Jones.
Oh my God.
I almost called him Daniel Dimes. Daniel Jones dropped back 37 times and was pressured 27. That's nuts.
That's insane. I mentioned in the Discord last night, though, he did a decent job of stepping up in the pocket.
Oh, no, he did amazing.
He should have been sacked so many times.
This says 5 sacks. I thought it was 6 or 7. So, I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know. I thought it was 6 or 7, but it says 5 sacks. But I do know 37 dropbacks, 27 pressures. That's insane. But he stepped up. I want to see his rushing yards. 79 rushing yards on 9 carries. He rushed for 8 first downs. 8 of those 9 rushes were picking up first downs with his legs. That's nuts. And then Saquon Barkley, like I said, I root for individual players, and I love to see him doing well. Funny enough, there was not a second of that game that I thought we were going to lose. 100% of the game, I was like completely comfortable. Like, we're winning this game. Even when Saquon Barkley had that big run, clocking in the fastest speed of any player this year. Fun fact was that touchdown run by Saquon. And even when he scored that to go up a touchdown, I literally wasn't like, oh no. I was like, I don't know why. I literally don't know why. I was just completely not nervous. I was like, we're winning this game. No doubt in my mind. But Saquon played pretty well. Daniel Jones picking up stuff with his feet was crazy. But you gotta love my man, Trayvon Diggs, getting his first pick of the year. He should have had 2 or 3 that game. He had one go through his hands. I was like, dude, last year he was picking that off for sure. But he did finally get one. So I was happy to see that. I don't think he's going to end up with 11 again this year, but I hope he gets in like the 7 or 8 range at least by the end of the year. That would be nice. But yeah, this was easily my favorite game for the boys of the year so far. Obviously, week 1 sucked, and then I liked this game a lot more than the Bengals game. The Bengals game was fine. It was just, this is a fun game. Division win. Love to see it. But yeah, anything else to say about the week 3 games, Rambo?
Nope. Just kind of
Ah,
expected this from the Giants. The Giants haven't had a good offensive line in a decade at least. So,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, but Cowboys played well. Cooper Rush, I'm not going to say Cooper Rush is him. I mean, he's playing good football. So if he can keep playing good football, then team will be in pretty good hands. That way, Dak can actually come back at a reasonable time. Jerry, Dak can come back in 4 weeks. Chat, I repeat, I strongly dislike Jerry Jones. Okay, I'm done.
I don't know when I want Dak to come back. I don't want him to rush back, but I don't want him to come back for the Rams. I don't know if I want him to come back for the Eagles. Maybe. But because I don't want him to come back in a bad game that he might lose, and then if he loses, everyone be like, this is why Cooper Rush should play. You don't understand. He beat the Bengals, who got sacked 8 times, and he beat the Giants, who suck. You have to play Cooper Rush because Dak lost to the Rams and the Eagles, 2 of the best teams in the league. So I don't want that narrative to become a thing. So I kind of want Cooper Rush to play the Rams and Eagles so he can lose, and everyone could be like, okay, we're ready for Dak. But if Cooper Rush keeps winning, obviously that's great. I'm just saying, I don't want Dak to come back and immediately lose to 2 tough teams, and then everyone scream for Cooper Rush who beat 2 bad teams, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it plays out. Having 2 good quarterbacks is better than having 0. So it's whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So,
WG. Go ahead.
I've been waiting on this segment. Oh, man.
I bet you have.
Woo!
WGP. Mother trucker,
Raise
dude.
a glass.
Every time I go to the YouTube intro, you start saying something.
Oh, I'm just saying, everybody raise a glass because this is going to be a fun one.
WGP Week 3. That's weekly game picks / weekly game predictions. I haven't decided which word the P stands for. Take whichever one you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you, the streak is over. Now, I was excited to tell you the streak was over when we finally went above 7-9, but unfortunately this week we dropped to 6-10. My consistency streak is over. Now, granted, I was only 1 game away, but it was a bad week. I barely got up to 6. I was afraid I was going to be stuck on 4 wins, and I got 2 from the last 2 games this week. Rambo is literally mid.
Dude.
That was Rambo, the only one with a positive week. He went off week 2. Rambo is 24-24 on the year, while I am 20-28. So we both suck, but somehow I suck worse. I'm back. I'm behind 4 games. I went from being up 2 games week 1 to now I'm down 4. I'm telling you, Kyrocast fans out there, Rambo fans, you're about to be down atrocious. I have a feeling I'm having a bounce back week this week. I don't know why. Now, granted, we go to week 3. I thought so many of these games were locks. How bad? I mean, we both did bad, but Rambo killed me on the split. Steelers-Browns. I'm not really mad about that one. They're similarly skilled teams, so Browns coming out on top, it's whatever. I should have picked them. Bills-Dolphins. Dolphins are an exciting, electric team, but the Bills are definitely favored and the better team going into that. Sucks. I thought I could count on the Bills, but whatever. Bengals Jets, that one should have been free, and it was. Got it. Raiders Titans. Now, both of these teams were not good going into this game, but I truly thought the Raiders were leagues better than the Titans. And yeah, the Raiders just can't get a win. They're the only winless team in the league right now, so that sucks. Saints Panthers. I called that this was a trap game. I almost switched it to the Panthers, but I didn't and paid the price for it. Ravens Patriots. I'm glad the Ravens pulled it out. Lions Vikings. This is the other game that I almost switched to and should have. I wanted to root for the Lions, though, and I couldn't pull it out. Eagles, Commanders. This one was easy. Chiefs, Colts. What the frick, dude? We already talked about this bull crap. How did the Colts tie the freaking Texans, lose 24-0 to the Jaguars? Granted, the Jaguars are kind of looking pretty good right now. And then beat the Chiefs.
That game should have been such a lock.
There's a number of teams so far that I have picked them incorrectly all 3 weeks. Like, there are teams that I picked twice and they lost, and then I didn't pick and they won, like the Colts. Or teams that I didn't pick and then finally did pick and they lost. It's so annoying. I suck at this freaking game. Texans, Bears, it barely squeaked by. I wasn't even sure about this game, but thankfully the Bears got it. I don't know how Rambo switched from the Chargers to the Jaguars and won so heavily. It's such garbage. I don't even want to talk about it. Jaguars are looking pretty good. But holy crap, the Chargers fell off. Cardinals, Rams. I admitted when I switched it, probably not wise. But honestly, if the Cardinals could just get more than a field goal ever, if a Hollywood Browns 140 yards could have translated into any points, I mean, they only lost technically by 1 score. So I don't think it was the worst switch pick ever, but I should have just stuck with the Rams. I also should have picked the Packers, although this wasn't really a bad pick either. I think the Buccaneers are the better team, but their whole receiving core is just gone. And Tom Brady's supposed to be able to handle that, but couldn't get the win. Neither of these offenses really played well. 14-12. Falcons versus Seahawks. This is another game that, going into it, I felt like the Falcons were the better team, but they're both not that good, and I wanted to see the Seahawks win, so I picked the Seahawks. Thankfully, Rambo didn't pick the Falcons, but the Falcons probably were the smarter play here. 49ers and Broncos. As much as I talk crap about them, gotta hand it to Jimmy Garoppolo because he saved my WGP season right here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe
Broncos
that
country.
Freaking Orlovski'd me to a 500 record.
Let's go, baby.
I am so angry.
Jimmy G had my back. And then you knew them boys were going to get the dub. You doubted Cooper Rush?
Oh, that was
you doubted that defense? Come on now. And then regardless, though, Rambo 3-1 on me with a split. Sucks. I went 6-10 on the week. He went 8-8. Whatever. Rambo wins. Rambo's 2-1 on the weekly matchups. But with all of that said, let's go into week 4, predicting every game. I almost went through and did my predictions early again, but I was like, nope, I'm just gonna keep doing it off the top of our head, live on the show. So here we go. Thursday night football this Thursday, debuting for the very first time the White Tiger uniforms. The Cincinnati Bengals at home taking on the lightning, flaming hot Miami Dolphins with that high-powered offense. I think we're probably both going to pick the same team here, but I'm going to let myself just go ahead and go first and pick the Dolphins. Tua, early MVP candidate. However, I don't know. Has it been confirmed with his concussion protocol stuff if he's for sure playing?
I really don't know. I think he might be able to play. The Dolphins came out and said that he is not in concussion protocol.
Okay.
So
regardless, the Dolphins are probably a safer pick, but if Tua wasn't playing, I would probably switch to the Bengals, but I'm going Dolphins. Rainbow?
Man, what a shame it would be for the Bengals to lose in the White Tiger helmets.
That would suck, but it's going to happen.
I still have to go with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And I like the Dolphins, but I want the Bengals to win in their white helmets at least once. It's just not going to be this week. Give me Miami.
Yeah. Vikings at New Orleans. Now, the Vikings are 2-1, and the Saints are 1-2. The Saints just had a bad loss to the Panthers, so that sucks for them. However, the Vikings, Justin Jefferson has been getting locked up. Kirk Cousins is not very good. However, he is good at the early afternoon slot. But I think that Saints defense is going to do some good things on the Vikings. The Saints-Vikings just, I feel like that's a team that even though they're not in the same division, have a really strong rivalry. I feel like they always end up playing in the playoffs when they both make it. And obviously there's a Minneapolis Miracle game. The Vikings are probably a better team as of today. But I'm gonna take the Saints at home.
Ooh, Kyro's rocking with the Saints. All right. Ooh. Here we go, boys. We got split number one.
Let's go, baby.
I'm taking the Vikes and Nola. I think Justin Jefferson has a bounce back week. Um, the Saints secondary, Lattimore is going to be up on him, but I mean, what else are they going to do? Honey Badger
Honey
is going to
Badger.
get cooked.
Nah.
I mean, let's
Honey
be
Badger
real.
gonna have
So
himself a game.
if
I'm
if
gonna call it
Lattimore is kind of off and
Honey
the line
Badger.
blocks it up, Vikes win.
I'm gonna call it Honey Badger is gonna have a safety
No.
blitz, sack, and maybe a takeaway. Just mark
No
my words.
way.
Mark my words.
Not a chance. If you're wrong on that, you lose the whole thing, even if the Saints win.
No. Um,
Yes.
I'm down 4 games on the season, so I really have to be smart here to get my record back, and I got to be really strategic with my upset picks. So I'm really hoping the Saints have my back. Seahawks, Lions. The Seahawks look terrible. The Lions look pretty good, even if they've got a couple losses. I'm going Lions.
Yep. I'm taking the Lions as well. The Lions get a lot of one possession games. I think a one possession game against Seattle at home will result in a W.
Yep.
So they play pretty much the same every week. It always comes down to the final few plays of the game. I feel like
Jet.
this week they'll get a positive one, unlike their game against Minnesota, which is sad.
Yeah. Jets in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. I got the Steelers here. That Steelers offense is struggling so hard with that Mitch Trubisky quarterback and the offensive line. Now, coming off a long week, like they had played on Thursday, so they got extra time this week, and they're playing the Jets. I think Pickett should play this game. I think Mike Tomlin is going to be a little bit too stubborn and not play him yet, which I hate. Regardless, that Steelers defense is still really good. Again, we keep saying it. Even without TJ Watt, that defense is amazing. Cam Hayward, Fitzpatrick. I think they have, what's his name, Miles Jack, something like that. I think Miles Jack from the Jaguars used to be on the Jaguars, on the Steelers.
I think Miles Jack is there. Pretty sure.
I think the Steelers defense, I mean, like the Steelers offense, they have, as we were talking about earlier, they have Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Chase Claypool, Najee Harris. So I do like a lot of the pieces on that offense, but that offensive line quarterback combo is hurting them. But their defense is that good, and the Jets just suck. And although the Browns, who just beat the Steelers, gave up that comeback, that Steelers defense is not going to allow Joe Flacco to lead 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes for a win. So I got the Steelers.
Ooh, taking the Steelers, eh? I gotta take the Steelers too.
No, pick the Jets, dude. Pick the Jets. Bro, the Jets beat the Browns, and the Browns beat the
I
Steelers. That
think the
means the Jets are
Jets.
better.
No, because I think the Jets win in Cleveland was a fluke. I really do.
Yeah, whatever.
Joe Flacco is gonna go back to his roots, which is sucking. So I'm taking the Steelers. Joe Flacco's not good. Worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. I will repeat that until my dying day. Steelers by 90.
Bears against the Giants in New York. Now, I feel like a lot of people's gut reaction here is the Giants. I think this game might honestly be decently close. The Giants receivers just suck. Why is Galladay so bad? Regardless, off of the loss they just had, I do think the Giants, it is a short week. Shorter week by a day. I think the Giants are gonna have a decent bounce back week. I think they'll clean some of this stuff up, and the Bears are not nearly as good defensively or in others. Pretty much all around, the Bears aren't as good as the Cowboys are at the moment. I do think the Giants are gonna have a comeback win. I think Saquon Barkley could have a big game. I think this game will be a little bit closer than, I feel like a lot of people's gut reaction is Giants, but I think it could be a decently close game. I almost want to pick the Bears, considering the Bears have won 2 games. One was against the 49ers in the middle of the ocean, so that's whatever, and the other was to a narrow win to the Texans, so the Bears aren't exactly impressive, but I do think they'll put up a fight with the Giants. I want to pick the Bears, but I think the Giants is the safer play, and I got to be safe here and pick them up, so that's wisely, so I got to stick with the Giants. Rambo.
really don't. I really don't know who to pick with this one. I'm leaning towards the Giants. My pick for the Giants may be on the chopping block, chat. But the Giants down for now. If it
Got it.
comes to it,
Comes
may
to
not be very
overtime, that
long.
might get flipped, but there we go. Titans at Colts. Why is this so tough? Holy crap, it's tough. This is maybe the hardest game for me to pick. The Colts have looked so bad, and then they beat the Chiefs. And then the Titans have also looked bad, but not as bad. Their lows have not been as low as the Colts, but they also just beat the Raiders.
Who are 0-3?
Yes, they're 0-3, but they're one of the best 0-3 teams I've maybe ever seen. Oh, this is really hard for me, man. Because I want to pick the Titans after the first 2 weeks of the Colts, but the Colts just beat the Chiefs.
Pick your favorite team, Lance says.
Well, I like the Titans more. Oh my gosh, this is difficult. I actually hate this. I hate this. I don't want to pick either team. I'm gonna pick the Colts. I'm gonna pick the Colts. Rambo, go. I'm picking the Colts. I hate it though.
You're taking the Colts? Okay.
I just
I'm
picked
gonna
a team that
take.
tied the Texans and lost 24-0 to the Jaguars. I hate it. I feel awful.
I'm taking the Titans on this one.
What sucks is that
yep.
if it comes to overtime, I can't switch it because you picked Titans. So I'm mad about that.
There's one W for me.
Because I would have definitely, if it came to overtime, just switched that pick. So that sucks. Chargers at Texans. Yeah, it's just Chargers. The Chargers sucked last week, but it's Chargers. Go ahead and bet against the Chargers with a bad team again, Rambo. It seemed to work for you last time.
Oh man. The Jaguars are actually, I think they're actually good. The Texans are not good. The Texans are not good. I don't have the confidence in them.
Yeah.
The Chargers offense, it's almost like they're in trench warfare and got blown to smithereens. Herbert's rib cartilage is mush. And the Texans suck.
You going Chargers?
I guess, but I really don't want to. And they're playing in Houston.
That's true. I can't see a universe where the Texans actually win, though, so I gotta go Chargers.
Man, 10 points against the Jags at home.
That's bad.
Actually,
but I also truly believe teams that have bad games, especially good to decent teams, always bounce back.
Yeah.
But pick the Texans, please.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Thinking about it.
Pick them. Pick them for the content.
Hang on.
We have a chance here, ladies and gentlemen. Kyrocast could be getting back. Could be catching up.
Oh my gosh. Chad, I'll go with the Texans.
Let's go, baby. Woo!
But I don't like it.
Granted, I was excited when he picked the Jaguars over the Chargers last week, and that blew up in my face massively, so I don't know why I'm excited. If the Chargers let me down again, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I was confident last week. I am not this week. This is going to be bad.
All right.
I just have games to waste, so I'm risking it for the biscuit.
Hey, last week you said, do it for the vine, risk it for the biscuit, and it worked. So if it works again, I don't know what I'll do. I really don't. All right, this next one should be a pretty quick one. We don't need to go into detail about this one. Browns-Falcons. The Falcons have honestly looked decent, and I think this could be a good game, honestly, but I got to go with the Browns.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns, too, on this one.
All right, Commanders-Cowboys. Go ahead.
Unless we see Oregon, Mariota, Falcons don't stand a chance.
Commanders at Cowboys in Arlington, Texas. The Commanders are the worst team in the NFC East. They have struggled, and I genuinely believe Micah Parsons, off of his illness after having a not bad game, but statistically absent game for Micah Parsons against the Giants in front of Lawrence Taylor. I think he is going to just lash out any frustrations he has on Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz's legs need to be careful. That double sprain might be coming back to bite him. I think we're going to have a ton of sacks again. Cowboys is an easy pick for me here.
Taking the Cowboys as well. Everybody knows I ride with the Cowboys. And another bold
Does
prediction.
everybody know that?
Yep. And bold prediction, we're not so bold. Carson Wentz throws a dumb pick from inside his own 25.
I want to see Trayvon Diggs get a pick again. Trayvon Diggs getting an interception is literally my favorite thing to happen in a football game. My favorite thing, every team, every game, my favorite play to see happen is Trayvon Diggs get a pick. I don't know why it makes me happy. Second
I
is
think
probably Micah Parsons getting a sack. But Trayvon
I
Diggs getting
think
a pick is just
Wentz
special.
I think Wentz inside his own 25 throws a pick to Micah.
To Micah, that'd be
To
cool.
Micah. I really do think that.
That'd be cool.
And he takes it to the house.
I know it was Heineke last year, but Trayvon Diggs mossed McLaurin for an interception last year. So that's
Oh
their
my
best guy.
gosh.
So I can see Trayvon getting a pick or two, honestly. Jaguars at Eagles. This is crazily kind of interesting because the Jaguars have been hot the last 2 weeks. But the Eagles are 3-0 and are looking like one of the best teams in the NFC. I think this will probably be a decent game, but I think the Eagles win by like 10. I'm going to say Eagles.
I'm taking Eagles as well. Got to ride with the connection. I think the secondary is going to show up a little more from Philly than uh, the Chargers. So I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to go in there and have another cakewalk like he did.
Yeah, probably not.
And to throw in a little
Bill,
bit of an analogy, he's not going to have. There's not going to be as much run support for the the Jaguars defense. So they're gonna have to actually go out and put in work. And you have to put in work against a beat up Chargers offense or a ready to go Eagles offense. There's no comparison. Eagles all the way.
yeah. All right, Bills and Ravens. I think this one is another one that might be a bit closer than what people might think. But the
Compelling.
Bills, you saw the energy off of just the offensive coordinator alone off that loss. You know that Bills team really wanted to have like a special, like potentially 17-0 season. Obviously, it didn't happen. Obviously, it was never likely that would be able to happen. But losing in week 3, I know they're pissed about that. And as much as I love the Ravens, that they do not have the team right now to handle a pissed off Bills team. The Bills are going to win this one, and it might be. I'm going to say they win by like 14-17, not like a major blowout, but I think the Bills are going to be pissed off. And as much as I love Lamar Jackson, I don't think that Bills defense is going to let him have a 5 touchdown game again.
Bills win this one, but I think it's actually going to be a high scoring matchup. Every time I predict whether or not a game's going to be high scoring or low scoring, it's the complete opposite, chat. I know. But I think this is my weekly prediction of high scoring. This is going to be a high scoring game. The Ravens gave up tons of points to Miami. Um, will the Bills come back and win by a lot, or will they keep the lead the whole game? I have no idea. But both quarterbacks are going to put up some points and some yards with arm and legs.
Rambo's weekly call for a shootout, so mark it down that it's going to be a defensive slugfest. Last week, Dolphins Bills shootout,
Dude.
21-19.
Did I call it a shootout for real?
You said Dolphins Bills is going to be a shootout,
Oh my gosh.
which I mean, it probably should have been. And then Saints Buccaneers, you said that, and it was 0-3 in the third quarter.
Oh
Finished 20
yeah,
to
that
10.
was a bad one. And the Bucks had a pick six, so some of those points didn't even come from the offense. Dude. Yeah, this is my weekly shootout pick though. Bills beat the Ravens.
You might be
And
right. I
both
would
teams
like to
put up
see it be
about
a shootout.
gosh. Yeah, I forgot that. Saints and Bucks pick that was bad. Ooh, Cardinals and Panthers. That's an interesting one.
Sorry. Had to look at my phone. I apologize. Cardinals at Panthers. Rainbow says this one could be an interesting one. I think it might be, but I got to pick Kyler Murray, Hollywood Brown, and the Cardinals. Have to. Cardinals only lost by a score to the Rams last week. 8 points, technically a score. I think they're going to figure out how to actually score a touchdown this week. You're going against Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, some of them. So I'm not that mad if your offense gets a little bit shut down. I mean, Hollywood had 140 yards against that. The Cardinals are going to get some touchdowns, but the Panthers are coming off a nice win against the Saints in that tough defense. Cardinals don't have a defense like the Saints. So I can see the Panthers playing pretty well and Christian McCaffrey having a big game. Rambo, Panthers?
Nope, I'm taking the Cardinals, and Kyler Murray runs for over 100 yards.
Ooh, Kyler Murray over 100 yards on the ground. I like that. I like that prediction. All right, I'm fine with that. This one, similar almost to the Titans Colts, I feel like is a tough game to pick. Broncos Raiders.
No.
I think this is going to be a great game in the sense that it's going to be like a struggle fest.
Oh, this game is going to suck so bad.
This
Which
is
means
tough.
it's going to be so entertaining.
This is a divisional matchup. The Broncos are somehow 2-1, and the Raiders are 0-3. I'm going to let you pick first here. What do you want to pick here, Rambo?
Chat, so you know, we do these weekly game predictions so the mid-offs are fun. This game is going to not be good.
I honestly think it might be a little better than people expect, or one team is going to really suck and the other team is going to look pretty good. I'll let you pick first, though.
I am taking Vegas.
I'm going to take the Raiders. Dang. I wanted to take the Raiders.
Devontae Adams has a fantastic game at home. And the defense does just enough. That's all I can say.
I wanted to pick the Raiders to get their first win here. It is very unlikely a team like the Raiders starts out 0-4. But I really wanted to pick the Raiders, but I don't want to pick the same team here because of how close it's going to be. But I think the 2-1 Broncos are going to get the Raiders. I expect a team like the Broncos that have just a new coaching staff and a new quarterback just have to take time to sync up and start clicking. So I feel like the longer time goes on, the better the Broncos should get. But same with the Raiders, and the Raiders have a better roster. But this is tough.
All the Raiders' losses are pretty close.
Yes. And they should have beat the Cardinals. I feel like the Raiders, even though they're 0-3, I feel like the Raiders are a better team than the 2-1 Broncos. This is tough, dude. I'm leaning towards wanting to pick the Raiders. But with that said, Broncos country.
No.
Broncos country.
That's a death sentence.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Man.
Let's ride. Broncos country. Let's ride, baby. Russell Wilson. I know Garoppolo is really what did it, but you squeaked out the win last week. Give me another split win, please. I'm begging you.
Riding into the abyss.
Patriots at the Green Bay Packers. Now, I think if both teams are 100%, it's a decent game, maybe. But with Mac Jones, I think definitely out. And if he's not out, injured, Packers. But I pick the Packers either way. Packers are going to win. Rambo?
Yep, Packers for me as well. Lambeau Field Packers are just too much. As long as it's a regular season, guys. Mac Jones is out. The Patriots have nothing to threaten them with. Packers all the way.
Chiefs at Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Now, Mike Evans will not
be in Tampa Bay?
Is it not?
Hurricane Ian. Who knows? They said they may relocate that game to the Midwest. Is that a neutral site game or is that Chiefs home territory, guys?
That is kind of interesting, actually. The Buccaneers, though, either way, Mike Evans is back. No, I don't know about Chris Evans. Chris Evans, wow.
Shout out to Chris Evans.
I said Mike Evans and then went into Chris Godwin. I don't know if Chris Godwin or Julio are going to be back yet. Either way, though, even if all those guys came back, Buccaneers having to practice at different facilities. They might not be actually at home. And the Chiefs just lost to the Colts. And I think the Chiefs are awesome. Granted, the Buccaneers defense is a lot more difficult. And the offense probably should be more difficult too. I think the Buccaneers are definitely a better team. But I got to ride with Kansas City. I'm going Chiefs.
The Bucks are not a better team.
Then
Chiefs by 90.
Buccaneers are a better team than the Colts.
Oh, then the Colts. Okay.
That's what I was saying.
I started saying, I was like, bruh, since your deal doesn't work. Yep, Chiefs by 90 for me.
All right.
Especially if the game's not in Tampa. If the game's in Tampa, it doesn't matter. They win anyway.
Yeah. Rams at San Francisco. Wow, I just stumbled over my words. Rams on the West Coast, not anywhere near SoCal, in San Francisco at the 49ers. I'm going to keep smoking that 49ers pack. And I had the 49ers as my 30th favorite team, meaning my third least favorite team. And the Rams I had just a hair above. And I'm giving them that edge right here. Let's go Rams, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Rams season.
I am taking the Rams because they're just that good. And the 49ers are just not.
I don't know if I'd say the Rams are just that good.
No actual football analysis. That's the best I'm going to give you. And because I'm a sane and rational person, I actually like the Rams. There you go.
AKA bandwagon. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, those are our week 4 picks. Once again, for the 4th straight week, we have 4 games on the split. And that's Saints Vikings, Colts Titans, Chargers Texans, Broncos Raiders. And let's see, interesting there. I picked, oh, never mind. 2 of those games, I picked the home team. 2 of the games, you picked the home team. But we have 4 games on the split. Those are our week 4 predictions. Let me know if you agree or disagree with either of us. And let me know what your picks are in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys next week to react to these games and predict week 5. Don't forget to smash like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Peace.